They're not together today.
Way outside with a curve, 2 balls and a strike. Davis telling Lyle Spencer of the Post the other day that his knees were hampered by the artificial surface in Cincinnati, and he is trying to get it out of there and have the Cincinnati Reds go to natural grass. They've never had it at Riverfront Stadium.
And I don't think they will, Timmy, because they just put new AstroTurf 8 in there and a new drainage system, and I think that there's too much money invested. Besides, the whole reason for doing it is to save dates to rainouts. It's just a matter of economics.
2-2 to Davis, 2 on, 1 out. Line to right, base hit. Bensinger had held up at second. Strawberry with no play, still that limping on that broken right little toe. Bensinger scores. It's 1-0 Cincinnati. 3 straight hits here.
Davis's 52nd RBI, and a good job of hitting by Davis, who did not try to pull that ball on the outside part of the plate and wristed it past the second baseman Jeffries. Bensinger scoring after even holding up a little bit to make sure the line drive went through.
So that is the 13th earned run given up in Bobby Ojida's last 6 innings. Paul O'Neill the batter. Curve, swing and a miss, 0-1. Paul 4th in the National League in RBIs with 56, and he's 10th in home runs. And the guy who's leading the league and leading baseball in home runs, I don't think they're going to catch anybody this year, unless there's an injury to Kevin Mitchell. Mitchell with 2 home runs against the St. Louis Cardinals last night. He now has 31 home runs and 80 RBIs. We still have a game to play before the break. A ball and 2 strikes to Paul O'Neill. Pardon me.
Mitchell hit one. No, excuse me. Let me go out and come in again. Mitchell hit a ball out of Busch Stadium Friday night as well. So he has hit 3 home runs in that series as Howard Johnson trails him in the National League. 3 home runs in that series, and probably one of the 2 toughest parks in the league in which to homer.
Curve fouled away. Still 2-2 to Paul O'Neill. Paul sobriquet, affectionately from the Reds, Jethro Bodine.
He's about as big as Jethro.
2 on, 1 out, 1-0 Cincinnati. Just underway here at Shea. The last meeting of the year, the Mets 7-4 against Cincinnati this year, and the curve is outside, 3-2. I would think Larkin and Davis will be off with this pitch. Nope. And O'Neill strikes out. A little surprised Larkin and Davis weren't running with a 1-run lead.
I'm very surprised with the speed they each possess. Now, the case, of course, now is made for, yeah, sure, look, if they had been running, maybe it would have been a play at third base, a double play to end the inning. But still, in that situation this early in the ball game, take a chance.
Rolando Rooms now the batter. Been swinging a hot bat in 11 of his last 12 starts. He has hit safely, batting .286. Rolando Rooms.
And he's another guy who's hit the Mets well this year. He's hitting .320 against New York.
Foul back. 1-1 to Rooms.
When you think about this inning, luck plays a little bit of a part, because the only ball that really was well hit against Ojeda was the single up the middle by Larkin. Basically, he's made pretty good pitches.
Fastball foul back, a ball and 2 strikes. And because Jeffries was cheating towards second base on the double play. Davis's ball, instead of being caught, is a single to right field. So the situation often plays a big part in determining whether a hitter gets a hit or not. Jeffrey's close to second now because you have a pull hitter and Rooms up. So he's not over there with 2 outs to cheat for the double play. But he was about there when Davis hit the liner to right. Curveball gets him. So Bobby Ojeda has 3 strikeouts in the first, but the Reds strike for 1 and lead 1-0 middle of the first. We're back after this from Nissan.
This is Nissan's most expensive sports car, the $450,000 world record-holding GTP ZX Turbo. This is the all-new Nissan 300 ZX. It costs about $422,000 less. There's also the 240 SX for under $14,000. And Maxima, the 4-door sports car, for under $18,000. See them all on display at the Marlboro Grand Prix, presented by Nissan, July 14th through 16th at the Meadowlands.
RC Cola has a real eye-opener for you. You could win one of 100 1989 Mazda V2200 pickups instantly in the Pickup and RC Sweepstakes. How? Just enjoy a refreshing can of RC Cola. Then look, peer, peek, squint, stare, or scan the bottom of your RC Cola can to see if you've won. Any way you look at it, there's 100 chances to win. So truck on over to your favorite store. Come on, say yes to the winning taste of RC. You could win a Mazda pickup instantly.
Close by the sea and enduring centuries of New England's harsh winters stands the great American home of John Paul Jones. For over 16 years, it's been maintained with Sears Weatherbeater exterior paint. Today, we're repainting with new advanced formula Weatherbeater, the most durable paint we've ever offered to protect it through the winters ahead. Sears Weatherbeater paint. Great low prices, Weatherbeater durability. That's your money's worth and a whole lot more.
We don't think a copier company that makes TVs, CDs, and VCRs sounds like a very good idea. Neither. Oh, we make a great copiers.
Rick Mailer on the mound as you see the beautiful skyline of New York City, and you saw how clear the day is. Mailer 8-8. He leads the Reds in wins, complete games, shutouts, and innings pitched. Rick Mailer on the mound.
And here's the lineup for New York. Juan Samuel leading off in center field. Lee Mazzilli at first base. Howard Johnson playing third, batting third. Darryl Strawberry in right field. Kevin McReynolds in left. Jeffries at second. Sasser catching. Elster at short. And, of course, Ojeda ninth.
1-0 Cincinnati. Bottom of the first inning. And the fastball to Samuel, a strike. Sammy batting .321 against Cincinnati this year. .248 overall. And with the Mets, he's batting .254. 3 weeks ago today, the trade was made. Len Dykstra and Roger McDowell for Juan Samuel. 1-1 to Samuel. Curve, he went too far. Ball and 2 strikes. Another curve fouled away. Still 1-2 to Samuel.
Sammy's hit in his last 4 games, and you can see that in this series he's really started to put it together. He's hit .444 over his last 4 games. So I guess his words of "I'm just now beginning to feel comfortable" are borne out by the stats.
Fastball gets Samuel. That was a good fastball right around the letters. 1 away, and Lee Mazzilli coming up.
Tough pitch to catch up to. And Mailer, ordinarily not an overpowering type of pitcher, but on occasion he can reach back and bring a little extra. He did that time.
Yeah, especially if you're looking for the breaking ball. Rick features the curveball. Last year with Atlanta, 9-16 on the year. Mazzilli now. Strike 1. Maz with 2 pinch home runs this year. And this one inside. 1-1 to Lee Mazzilli. Dave Magadan still nursing the back spasms. Grounded sharply into right, base hit for Mazzilli. So Maz at first and Howard Johnson coming up. Tommy Helms, Scott Breeden, the pitching coaches, Tony Perez, Lee May, and Dave Bristol. Pete Rose, the manager of the Reds, flanked by his fine coaching staff. What a remarkable year for Howard Johnson. I guess 2 is the magic number. 22 doubles, 2 triples, 22 home runs.
And number 20 on his shirt.
A check swing. Mailer will go to second for 1. Not in time to first.
Well, I tell you what, that as a hitter, that makes you want to bite the bat in half.
Especially your first at bat.
Oh, first at bat, first pitch. And you just don't want to swing, but you do. And hit one right back to the pitcher. Only because it was not sharply hit and Johnson runs extremely well was it not a double play. Larkin really got hammered right here, but look how he stayed on his feet as Mazzilli took the brunt of it.
I'll tell you, Mazzilli limping off the field may have hurt himself going into Larkin, as you see Maz limping back to the dugout. It looked like he could have gotten a knee caught on the bag there.
Yeah, he hit the bag hard.
Yes, he did. Hit Larkin hard, too. Strawberry with a 2-run homer in yesterday's game with 3 RBIs. Now 3rd in home runs in the National League, and we'll see if Mazzilli's all right. Ball 1, good play by Reed, the catcher. It's a ball and no strikes to Strawberry.
Steve Garland, the Mets trainer, appears to be working on Mazzilli's ankle. Or at least looking at it.
This one hit the left field. Could be trouble. Rooms can't get to it. It's by Rooms. Here comes Johnson to score. Strawberry limping into second base. 1-1 ball game.
Hojo, with the advantage of having the play in front of him, he could see probably as well as anybody in this ballpark that Rooms was not going to get to this ball. Darrell hits it off the end of the bat, and a lot of guys would pop it up behind third, but Darrell's so strong, he drove it 3/4 of the way down the left field line. And Johnson, with good base running, scores all the way from first base.
Kevin McReynolds now. The curve is low. Mack batting .285 on the year. He has not produced in the power department this year like he has in years past. Only 20 extra base hits. But a long way to go, the second half. And the fastball is low. 2 balls and no strikes. Rick Mailer, as you see, 0-8 since May 25th, 1982. That's the last time he beat the Mets. Over 7 years ago.
And he's 2-10 for his career against New York.
Inside, ball 2. Make that ball 3. 3-0 to McReynolds.
So he was 2-2 against New York the last time he won a game against the Mets. Now he's 2-10.
Talk about a long dry spell. 7 years since he has beaten New York. Grounded sharply but foul as McReynolds was given the green light. .35-year-old, 6'1", 202-pound Rick Mailer on the mound. And the curve for a strike, 3-2. Bob Sykes now has taken over, looking at Lee Mazzilli, whose ankle is sore. Strawberry's toe is broken. Curve, grounded up the middle. Larkin makes the play, but the Mets tie it up. It's 1-1 after one. We're back after this from the Wiz.
It's summertime, and the Whiz is hot. If it's compact or cellular, waterproof or portable, we're hot. If it's for listening or looking, watching or cooking, we're hot. For sizzling summer values, nobody beats the Whiz.
There's a new generation at the Daily News.
Gail Collins.
I look for the humor in a situation. When I wrote that pigeons were the roaches of the bird world, I must have gotten 10 billion letters. But when I wrote that half the city council has the IQ of a cucumber, no one protested.
Collins. Herbert. Gonzalez. McAlary.
New York's hometown paper.
It's just a game. A game of 90-mile-an-hour fastballs and 400-foot slams. A game of elation and frustration. And muscle and wood and leather. A game where boys become men and men become heroes. Where it's legal to steal and where every man just wants to go home. Starting lineup, we bring home the men of the game.
Yeah, I put new brakes in my car last night. Did you go to Meineke? No. Why?
Before you do something dumb, remember, it's smart to come to Meineke.
Lenny Harris leads it off for the Reds here in the second and promptly grounds to Lee Mazzilli, so Maz is all right. No noticeable problems from that collision with Barry Larkin at second base in the first inning. One out here in the second, and Jeff Reed the batter.
The catcher, number 34, Jeff Reed.
If you're thinking whether yesterday's action will start up again today, it's doubtful. The umpires have taken full control of this. Bill White, the president of the National League, as you see the umpires meeting before the game, and this one high and tight on cue, Reed goes down, right? And the crowd reacts. No, of course, that was a curveball, but the umpires told both managers that if in their opinion, there's Jim Quick, the crew chief, 1-0 to Reed. Grounded right side again, Jeffries, 2 outs. That if in their opinion, either pitcher or subsequent pitchers behind Ojeda and Mailer, if they throw at opposing hitters, they and the managers are gone. Kind of prevents you from pitching inside, though, doesn't it, Steve?
I'll tell you what, I just don't like the rule. I mean, it's the same rule that applies during a ball game for the retaliation factor.
But it's more noticeable.
Exactly. But when it carries over to the next game because of an incident before in a previous game in a series, it really stifles a part of the game that's very, very important.
From a pitcher's standpoint, as a matter of fact, Davey Johnson, one of his criticisms of Bobby Ojeda early in the year was that he wasn't pitching inside enough. So if you go in this game and say, well, I've got to pitch inside to be successful, but I can't pitch inside because if I do, I might be gone, then that puts you in that indecisive area, 1-2 to Mailer.
It's like a negative effect on the game before it's even begun.
Curve, lined, good play, Johnson. Spearing that line drive by Mailer right off the ground. Reds go in order, middle of the second, 1-1, and we go to the bottom of the second after this from the good old guy.
At the 88 Royale is Marino Jr. and Marino Very Jr., who thinks he's in the Daytona 500. And Senior said, it's roomy, it's smooth. And Junior said, if you like it, then I don't like it. This is not my father's Oldsmobile. Senior says, your father has his own Oldsmobile. He doesn't need your Oldsmobile. Then Senior says, how about if I don't like it? Junior says, then I like it. Senior says, you know what? I don't like it. Junior says, great, I'll take it. And Very Jr. comes back from Never Never Land, looks at me and says, totally deadpan, let's talk financing.
It's just a pure and natural being for you. So icy cold, so crisp, so clear for you. The king of beer, so fresh, so true for you. You got the taste, this bug's for you.
They call me up. Hey, good news. You can save 35% off AT&T. So I switch. Call my sister. Takes longer getting through, but I'm saving, right? Then the bill comes. 35% off. They forget to mention it's only on these quick little calls over 900 and something miles away. So I called them up. Hey, bad news. I'm going back to AT&T.
People who thought they could do better than AT&T are coming back for the real value. Aren't you glad you never left?
The overwhelming thing was the amount of blood in the room.
Guilty or innocent. Watch False Witness, the Jeffrey McDonald murders. Wednesday night at 8 on Channel 9.
Greg Jeffries leads it off for New York here in the bottom of the second. Greg batting .229 on the year. 1-1 game in the curve for a strike to Greg Jeffries. Greg batting .310 over his last 18 games. And he hits one foul. 0-2 to Jeffries.
Jeffries also has a 5-game hitting streak working. And from the low point, he has now raised his average 46 points.
Fouled away. Yeah, the nadir of Greg's season about 3 weeks ago when he was batting 182. And since that time, he has picked his average up considerably to 229. 1-2.
Greg's really been fighting that dilemma that all hitters face, and that is being aggressive but trying to be patient at the same time. And there he's overly aggressive to a certain extent.
That's what hitting is.
Being patiently aggressive.
Yeah, it's an oxymoron, right?
Tough.
Patient aggressiveness, or aggressive patience. That's like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Very aggressive patience there.
Different kind of patience, but
yeah.
You also have to wait and be quick, which is sometimes difficult.
Tapper towards second, and Lenny Harris throws out Jeffries. One away here in the second, and Mackie Sasser coming up.
Number 2, the catcher, Mackie Sasser.
Said Lenny Harris. It was Luis Quinones, the second baseman. Harris is over at third. And the reason for that is that Chris Sabo is out of there. Sabo with a left knee problem. Well, we are delighted to welcome to Shea Stadium Robin Williams on the left of your screen, Billy Crystal there on the right. Two very, very talented men. Enjoying what else? Hot dogs. As Sasser rips one foul down the right field line. We are going to have two of our favorite comedians, maybe, up here with us.
We're going to try and cajole them into the booth. I'll tell you what, those two guys got a couple of small packages packed with a tremendous amount of talent.
Ooh. Curveball outside, 1-1. I don't know if you folks have seen the Dead Poets Society. Do yourself a favor and see it. It is a very, very good movie. Change, swing and a miss, 1-2 to Sasser. One game here in the bottom of the second, the last meeting between the Reds and the Mets this year. Two balls, two strikes. Inside, ball 3, 3-2. Grounded sharply right side. Again, Quinones. And that in-between hop caroms off the waist of Quinones, and it will surely be an error on the Red second baseman.
Number 21, the shortstop, Kevin Elster.
It is being scored as an error. As you can see the ball come up. And a lot of times when a ball is top-handed, as they say, very sharply like that, that second or third spin will have a lot of overspin on it, and the ball will react unexpectedly. More so on turf than on natural surface, but you never know what it's going to hit out there. And that really was a bad hop, but an error.
Curveball for a strike on the outside corner to Elster. Kevin below the 200 mark, batting 199. And Barry Larkin wants to check with Rick Mailer, probably about who's covering.
Jay Horwitz just informed us that Tim Teffel went to Roosevelt Hospital today and just now returned to the ballpark to have his back x-rayed, and it was nothing more than a bruise, thankfully. Teffel apparently injured in the melee yesterday.
Inside, 1-1. Those horrible pileups in baseball fights.
Yeah, it's not the fight, it's everybody jumping on top of you that causes the injuries more often than not.
Quinones covering. Should Sasser run? This one ripped the left base hit. You saw the open mouth from shortstop Barry Larkin, meaning that Quinones would have been covering, and the reason for that, there's Barry right there. Open mouth, you cover. Closed mouth, I cover. And sure enough, Elster hits it to the left side.
But he hit it where Larkin couldn't get it, even though Larkin wasn't covering. And, of course, Sasser was not running, so it was somewhat of a moot point anyway. A clean base hit by Kevin Elster, something that has been too rare.
What probably happened there was that Larkin saw the sign given by Jeff Reed, which was an inside fastball. Elster was going to pull it, he thought, and because of that, he told Quinones via the sign route that you cover, because the chances of Elster hitting it to the other side are remote. And sure enough, Elster pulled it, but by Larkin. Rotation play is on, and Ojeda fouls it off. So Harris charging, Bensinger charging, Larkin to third and Quinones to first on the rotation play.
Here it is. Here comes Bensinger. See Quinones breaking for first base. And then the third baseman, Harris, comes in, and Larkin breaks for third base. So, in essence, the Reds, or any team using the rotation play, leaves second base uncovered.
And it's bunted toward third. Mailer will go to first, even though Reed was pointing to third. Sacrifice successful.
And that time, the Reds did not employ the rotation play. Trying to change up the Mets a little bit and see if they couldn't get the play at third. Now watch Harris. He's in now. He sees the bunt, and even though it's to the third base side, he's back. Now look at Reed. Third base. He pointed to third base. I'm sure he said third base. But Mailer ignored him and took the sure out at first. It would have been a close play and a difficult play at third, but it would have been a forced play.
So the Mets with runners on second and third, 2 outs, 1-1 game here in the second. Samuel struck out in the first. Outside, ball 1. Sammy, a participant in the fight yesterday. Norm Charlton of the Reds, and Samuel at it as he fouls one back, 1-1. Charlton and Rob Dibble are roommates, we understand, and very close friends, and I guess Charlton felt like he had to protect his friend Rob Dibble, and he did.
There's Norm right there, hunched over.
I saw Norm without a shirt on before the ball game, and his upper body, especially his left shoulder area, is very bruised. It was a very serious melee yesterday.
Yeah, it was not your basic baseball brawl,
No.
which is a lot of dancing and holding. This was some serious punching and wrestling and kicking and gouging.
2 balls and a strike. Outside, ball 3. 3-1 to Samuel. Lee Mazzilli on deck. Right on the corner. 3-2 to Samuel. Got to get a curveball here, I would think, Steve. That's Mailer's best pitch.
And
the 3-1 fastball set him up.
And he throws behind in the count. He throws a lot of breaking balls. So just about have to be looking for one here.
Looked like a fastball sign. Nope, breaking ball. Left side off the glove of Larkin. Here comes Elster. He scores. 3-1 New York. Another fine play by Sam Palazzo, the third base coach. Among the best.
I'll tell you what, he has really become one of the premier third base coaches in baseball. You have to make such quick decisions. Now look where Elster is. He's right there at the bag about the same time as the ball goes off Barry Larkin's glove. Ball's up in the air. Right now, he's telling Kevin Elster can't see what happened. He's telling Kevin Elster and showing Kevin Elster immediately he wants him to go home.
Throw to first, Samuel diving back. I'll tell you, that shot was so great because you at home had a chance to be the third base coach.
It's just about the exact same view that Sam would have.
Right.
And you have to make that decision immediately. Can't hesitate.
Reed on the pitch out. It's a ball and no strikes to Mazzilli. We're going to take another look at that if we have time this inning, and if not the next inning. Boy, that puts you right in the third base coach's box. And Palazzo, I mean, it really took some courage. You don't know where that ball's going to bounce.
No.
Here it is one more time.
It's off of him, and see, for a little while you can't tell how far away it is. Elster just hesitated until he got the word and the sign from Palazzo, and there was no throw at home.
Ball and a strike to Mazzilli. I think another key is what you touched on. By the way, that was a base hit for Samuel, so give him, or I should say an error, beg your pardon, an error on Barry Larkin, the second error of the inning. There goes Samuel. This one hit the center. Eric Davis there, and he makes the play. But the Mets on the board with 2 runs, 2 key errors to allow those runs, and lead 3-1 after 2. We're back after this from Metropolitan Light.
Look at Snoopy. He's in training again. He's working like a dog, sir. But why? Because everyone at MetLife wants to meet customer expectations. And then go that one extra mile. I've never seen him run so fast. It must be his commitment to high quality, sir. Besides, there's a new cat next door. Get Met. It pays.
Sunshine, fun time, friendlies in the summertime. Get a deal at friendlies that is super fine. A super single cone for free. Get your pick of 23. Friendlies, rich and creamy ice cream. It's gonna be a friendly summer.
Get a free super single cone at Friendly's when you buy any sandwich with fries. Or when you buy any platter. A great deal for a short time.
It's gonna be a friendly summer.
This year, 90 million people complained about the weather. 10 million complained about waiting in line. 60 million complained about their bosses. But according to J.D. Power's latest survey of new car owners, there were fewer complaints about the Nissan Maxima than any other car, which makes the Nissan Maxima the most trouble-free car sold in America, and leaves Maxima owners free to complain about more important things.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match.
9 out of 10 people turn to the matchmaker, the New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. Because with more ads and more choices, the more they look, the more they find. The genuine New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company.
Luis Quinones for the Reds leads it off and promptly rips one foul down the left field line. Quinones, a strikeout victim in the first inning. The Reds took the lead on a single by Eric Davis, driving in Todd Bensinger in the first. But the Mets tied it with one in their half of the first and then went ahead on a shabbily played bottom of the second for the Reds. An error by Quinones, and then Barry Larkin led to 2 runs for New York. How about that? 2-2. You do get stronger and your technique gets better. Yeah. Graphic exhibited that. It's true. Three balls and 2 strikes.
Now, Ojeda threw that ball in a similar motion and fashion to his changeup, but he threw it hard. It was almost like a hard screwball that breaks away from a right-handed hitter.
And Quinones draws a walk. First walk issued by Ojeda. And the batter, Todd Bensinger, who singled and scored a run in the first inning.
And when Ojeda tries to throw hard consistently, he tends to have problems. It's really not his game plan. He needs to really paint the corners and be, have that show me Missouri fastballs, he says.
Fouled away. Todd Bensinger, a remarkable similarity to Wes Parker of the former big league player. Boy, what a great first baseman he was for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Switch hitter, first baseman, even though he was a left-handed thrower.
What a glove.
No balls, 2 strikes to the Wes Parker look-alike. Show-me fastball you were talking about, Steve. Strikeout number 4 for Ojeda.
And this is what Bobby has to do, particularly against right-handed hitters. Paint that corner and then bust them inside. And because he throws that slider inside to right-handed hitters, sometimes they give up on that pitch, thinking that it's going to break off the plate, and it doesn't. And that's what happened that time. It didn't.
Barry Larkin singled to center in the first, entered the game batting .341. Inside, ball 1.
Larkin 10 points at the start of today behind Tony Gwynn in the National League batting race, which really isn't going to be much of a race until September.
High, ball 2, 2-0.
Either that or it won't be any race at all by September.
All 4 divisions in both leagues. Terrific pennant races in the National League and the American League. There's a strike, 2 balls and a strike. The Mets in 4th place, but they're only 2.5 games out of 1st place, trailing the Cardinals, who are 2.5 back. The Chicago Cubs a game and a half back, and Montreal, who lost to Houston last night for the first time in 9 meetings, their last 9. The Expos in 1st place.
And you can see last year at the All-Star break, the Mets were 3.5 games in front.
And there goes Quinones, and Larkin fouls it away, 2-2. In the National League West, San Francisco in 1st place. Houston trailing by a game and a half, and it's Cincinnati in 3rd, 6.5 back. And then in the American League East, the Yankees trailed the Baltimore Orioles. The Yankees in second place, 5 games back. Then it's Boston 6.5, Cleveland and Milwaukee 7, and Toronto 8.
In every division, you really have a minimum of 3 teams contending.
Tapper toward third. Good play. Johnson, good pivot. Jeffries not in time to first. Well done by Johnson and Jeffries. 2 outs.
Mazzilli with a mild argument with first base umpire Jim Quick. Johnson picks the short hop beautifully, gets rid of it in a hurry. And Jeffries gets rid of it as quickly as he can. Jeffries with a good, strong throw, but Larkin called safe at first.
Watch Bobby Ojida's reaction when he doesn't get the call at first. Ojeda slapping that glove. He wanted the double play. There's Bobby right there. And Mazzilli.
After that, Maz turned around and walked back to talk to Jim Quick.
Very close play, but safe at first was Larkin. Larkin with 10 stolen bases and 15 tries. Eric Davis, his 52nd RBI on a single to right in the first inning. Foul back. That's where you got to pitch Davis, up and in. Time up.
He has such a quick bat that it's not always easy to do, but like most power hitters, he likes to extend his arms. Get that bat head out. So you want to try to keep him from doing that.
Yeah, you have to attempt to throw the ball above his hands. See how low his hands are? Because good pitches on normal right-handed hitters are not good pitches to Davis because of the location of his hands. He can hit that ball down in a way because that's where his hands are.
And he drops them as he strides.
Right. If you were to see a teenager or a little league player doing this same thing, you would try to correct him. But as talented as Davis is, you let him do whatever he wants to do, however unorthodox it may be. Grounder to short. Elster to Jeffries for the 3rd out. The Reds fail to score here in the 3rd inning, and after 2.5, it's 3-1 New York. We're back after this from Anheuser-Busch.
Brewing is an art. I've done it for years. I love working with nature's own ingredients. I love carrying on a skill that's been passed down for generations. And I love reaching that moment when a good beer becomes a great one. We brew our beer with great care. It just isn't right to abuse it.
Missed it? Now you can rent it. The Fly 2, a new generation of terror, is coming to videocassette.
Hi, this is Greg Jeffries. I'm proud to be the newest member of the Farmland Dairies Junior Met team. Members receive great items like official baseball card collector's albums and a lot more. To join, send $5 plus 2 Farmland Dairies proof of purchase to this address. Please allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. To find out where Farmland Dairies milk is sold, call 1-800-631-7739. Join the Junior Mets team today.
And how about a sweet ticket deal? All you have to do is bring 6 wrappers from Leaf Candy Brands to Shea Stadium during business hours and receive a free ticket to selected Mets home games in July. Participating Leaf Candy Brands include Milk Duds, Jolly Rancher Candies, Whoppers, Malted Milk Balls, Payday, Heath Bar, Chuckles, Switzer Sticks, Clark Bars, and Rainbow Gum. Any and all of the above. Look for details wherever popular Leaf brand candies are sold. It's void, of course, where prohibited. And you can get a free ticket to a Mets game in July.
That's the ticket. As a matter of fact, you bring 50 wrappers and you get a lifetime pass. Right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Sure. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Howard Johnson takes a fastball on the corner for a strike, 0-1.
For 1,000 rappers, you can buy the club.
Bottom of the third, 3-1, New York on top. So Mailer has gone away with the fastball for 1 strike, and now in on with the fastball for the 2nd strike. 0-2 to Johnson. Darryl Strawberry on deck. Curve, cued foul.
That's one of those swings where you wait and you wait and you wait and you finally swing only to find out that you should have waited.
Oh, 2 to Johnson. Hojo's first trip to the All-Star game, and he will leave this afternoon after the game. Darryl Strawberry was voted as the starting right fielder, but will not perform because of his right toe. His right little toe. Not that Darryl has 1 toe on his right foot. I mean,
right toe and your left toe.
Yeah.
Well, Hojo's certainly deserving. We talked about this during the Houston series, that as long as the fans are voting, guys who aren't deserving aren't going to be elected.
Lifted to right field. Paul O'Neill over. 1 away here in the 3rd.
Here's the Nissan National League score. Well, now I want you to get a quick look at this now. There, now you can see it again. There will be a test. Pittsburgh leading San Diego 3-1 in the 3rd. Philadelphia over Atlanta 1-0 in the 1st. San Francisco, St. Louis just underway. LA at Chicago, and Montreal at Houston. There wasn't much to see, but you did need to look at it a little longer.
Swing and a miss by Strawberry on the breaking ball. Strawberry's 15th double of the year in the 1st inning drove in the tying run. The Mets with 2 runs in the bottom of the 2nd lead 3-1. Dave Bristol, Tommy Helms checking Rolando Rooms, and they're trying to move him toward left field, toward the left field line. There you see Rooms into left center.
And that's where Darryl Strawberry doubled his last time up. Tommy Helms trying to get his attention. Darryl hit one down the line that went for 2 bases.
This one hit deep to right, but it's a foul ball. Strawberry waving the magic wand with 1 hand.
Talk about strong. Oh. Darryl's RBI, incidentally, in the 1st was his 9th in the last 7 games, counting today.
42 for the year for Straw.
So he's picked up the pace a little bit.
Tapped foul. Just having him back in the lineup, you can see the difference in the way the offense is responding. Not that the fill-ins didn't do admirably in right field, but no few guys in baseball can carry around the credentials that this man can. What a threat. Another one fouled away, still 2-2. Ground ball right side. Good play by Bensinger. And he beats Strawberry to the bag. 2 outs here in the 3rd.
Here's a Nissan American League scoreboard. It's 2-0 Boston over the Yankees in the 4th inning. Toronto leads Detroit 1-0 in the 3rd. Baltimore, Milwaukee, no score. Chicago, Kansas City, no score. And the other 3 games are later on the left coast.
Tell you what, Stephen, what may be the best division in baseball right now, California, all of a sudden a game and a half out in front of Oakland. High fastball, ball 1 to McReynolds.
Kansas City playing it very well, too.
Yeah.
They're certainly to be contended with.
Curveball for a strike, 1-1 to McReynolds, who grounded to short in the 1st. 3-1 New York. Fly ball right field and playable for Paul O'Neill. And for the first time in this game, the Mets down in order. It's 3-1 New York after 3, and we're back after this from Manny Henney.
My dad brought me to this place. He said, Jim, you've got the easy part. College wasn't cheap then. It's not getting any cheaper. How am I ever gonna pull this off?
At Manufacturers Hanover, we'll help you find a savings plan today that may afford your child the right education tomorrow.
When it's time to put an ad in the Yellow Pages, why do most advertisers use the New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages? Because the book to be in is the book most people look in, the genuine New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. The book that's been matching more people to more services for over 100 years. No wonder it's called The Matchmaker. To bring more business to your business, be in the right book. Make a perfect match. The genuine New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Athletic Company.
I send you for a Bud Light, and you bring back...
Well, if you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
So, there are no men here, there's an unlimited supply of Bud Light, and we can never leave.
Correct.
Because everything else is just a light.
We can live with that. Yeah.
Never seen anything like it.
Where's my family?
We just want to get the whole story, Captain.
Fatal Vision. Tonight at 8 on Channel 9.
3-1 ball game. Mets on top. Paul O'Neill leads it off here in the 4th inning. And Steve Zabriskie in for the play-by-play.
Thank you, Timmy. O'Neill struck out looking his first time up. He'll be followed by Rolando Rooms and Lenny Harris against Bobby Ojeda. Has one go high and inside to O'Neill, ball 1. O'Neill, for the most part, has been a pretty steady performer for the Reds this year. And it's ball 2. Well hit to right field. Strawberry backing up just short of the track for out number 1. This afternoon's game is being brought to you in part by your good old Skies and by the 9X Yellow Pages. If it's out there, it's in here. Rolando Rooms, a hitter. Rooms struck out to end the first inning. What more could a body ask for on a beautiful day, a sellout crowd at Shea, a great ball game between two of the better teams in the league, and in the ballpark, two of the most talented human beings on the face of the earth, and certainly two of our favorite entertainers. Robin Williams, and with us right now, Billy Crystal. How are you, Billy?
Great. It's great to see you guys again.
See you too, Billy. I thought this was Phil Rizzuto.
Holy cow, holy cow. I thought Jeffrey should have that. They're paying him much too much, Timmy. In the old days, Jerry Coleman would have had that turn and thrown him out. But, you know, more importantly, there's a golf course in Teaneck. Cora and I, that 18th hole, it's a fabulous course. Holy cow. A stocky kid, this Jeffries. Gil McDougal. Gil wasn't built like that. It's a weird stance as Harris steps in. Lead over there.
You were a Yankee fan growing up, right?
Yes, I was. I started as a Giant fan. And they swept Cleveland in '54. And I went, well, there's no sense rooting for them anymore. They're perfect. And then that blonde-haired guy in the Bronx started hitting them into different area codes. And I said, well, I like this guy. So I became a Mickey Mantle clone. I limped. But I went to school every day, bandaged up. And I talked like him. This kid, little Jewish kid with an Oklahoman accent.
Let me hear you talk like him.
My bar mitzvah was Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Holy cow!
Is running, and he's in there. His third stolen base of the year, and he's at second with one out.
Rooms with a good jump off Ojeda. And you see him take a peek. That's in case the ball's put into play in the air so he could retreat to first. A good slide by Rooms.
Did you ever slide head first?
No, I didn't.
Were you ever on base?
Oh. I'll tell you, the one time I slid head first was in the minor leagues. It was my last time. I buckled my knees when I did it, so I went in like a barrel instead of head first.
Through the hole and into right field. Strawberry misses the ball. Rooms will score, and Lenny Harris will stop at second with a single and an error and an RBI, and it's 3-2 New York.
So your knees buckled. My knees buckled, and I hurt my knee.
You weren't wearing a cup?
Not on my knee. Strawberry, Strawberry can't get down on that ground ball. That's clearly an error as Room scores 3-2 ball game.
3 errors in a game already. We have a friend here. Just came into the ballpark. He's visiting from the Soviet Union, actually.
Has he ever seen baseball before?
Hey, wait. Get your heads here. If you get this on.
So
this is Misha.
Hello, this is
Misha's...
nice you have right field here, the Soviet Union on the left field.
And what are you must feel at home the team is the Reds here.
Yeah, but every team in Soviet Union is red. Leningrad red, Moscow red, Kiev red, all same team. It's nice man just came home, you know, in Soviet Union you can't steal home, you occupy home.
You occupy home.
Very much agree.
You don't own it, right?
No, never. Everyone owns home.
That's right. And you occupy
and the umpires, you never say, you know, safe, out, everything.
What do you say?
No one is safe.
No one's safe.
No, as long as they have weapons.
That's true.
Safe.
You need a visa to be out, right?
Very much, yes. You must negotiate for that out. You know, to get out, you can't. You're not out. You must get out.
Get out.
Yeah, you say
but you can't come home if you get out.
Yeah, you get out. You can't come home. It's like who's on first, but not yet.
But not yet.
No,
not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, funny. I laugh now.
You're allowed to laugh now.
Here.
Here.
Okay.
Well, Jeff Reed's the hitter.
That's good news. You know, I got a lot of respect for Eric Gregg today on a day like this. Holy cow. Look at that.
Eric, the home plate umpire today.
He's a big fella.
Look out there. Ooh. No steroids, I don't think.
You never know.
Not that way.
Look like Russian woman shot putter.
Watch out.
Oh, well hit deep to right, and Darrell back on the track.
And it's going to be...
Strawberry makes a great catch. Harris
got a play.
Running, and he overran third base, and he's out.
No! Goodbye.
You tighten the helmet, that'll help.
No, you can't keep that.
No.
Double play, inning over. Mets still lead 3-2. Back after this for the good old guy.
Okay, America. Look at that big time.
All right, we get back from the test drive.
The Pal Ager?
Yeah, with the quad 4. She's an accountant and she's beautiful. And I'm thinking maybe this is the year I tell my brother-in-law he's no longer doing my taxes. She says it's fast, it handles great, I want it. Sapphire blue, delivery Tuesday, here's my price, and she gives me a piece of paper with a number on it.
Was it a large number?
No, it wasn't a large number.
Did you take it?
Yeah, I took it.
Jerry the Ruthless.
She was a CPA.
Jerry the Rock.
Check, please.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
Something big is coming to your house. Pioneer's combination Laserdisc CD player. It plays CDs and hit movies. Laserdisc movies are 60% sharper than ordinary VCRs and feature CD sound. Pioneer Laserdisc. It is a huge idea. Call 1-800-421-1404 for your nearest dealer.
The perfect body is balanced. Fit on the inside as well as the outside. To help you achieve that balance, drink Evian natural spring water from the French Alps.
Strawberry going over the fence to catch what would have been obviously a home run. Watch. And you will never see another double play like this one. Harris waiting until the ball is caught, and now he rounds third. The throw back to Johnson. And he's caught dead.
Wait, hold it. Wait a minute. Oh, Jeffries leads off the bottom of the fourth, with the Mets leading 3-2, preserved by that play. Boy, Dave Bristol couldn't have been more emphatic. He was standing there with his arms up. Harris ran right through the stop sign. Jeffries fouls it off. And it's 0-2.
It's another thing you can't do in the Soviet Union, right, Mission?
Fouling, no, it's foul balls, not better that way. You know, with only left field, everything is fair. We must negotiate that way for fair. All is fair, except for baseball right now, maybe.
1-2.
We call what collective farm clubs there, you know.
Oh, collective farm
clubs, yeah. You negotiate for that whole thing.
How does that work? You find people you want, you collect them, and you bring
People
them
come back to the
farm
camp,
club?
yes.
Who are some of the great stars in Russian baseball?
The famous Russian catcher, Red Yiddish.
Red Yiddish?
Yes.
Robin Williams, who of course is starring in Dead Poets Society, and Billy Crystal, starring in When Harry Met Sally, which opens Wednesday, with us in the booth.
And we're both shamelessly plugging our products here on a lovely Sunday afternoon in between jets.
Look at some of these uniforms, though. These uniforms are exciting.
Do you like this, Parker?
I don't know. I think I look at this, I see reds. I want to say Cincinnati Salmon. Why not? Okay.
Playable on the infield, Benzinger, not yet in the salmon double nits, makes the play.
Now, what about double nits? They don't breathe with you.
I don't know. I think if you're on the field, you want something to breathe.
Like what? What would it be?
Khaki?
A good khaki?
Khaki, I didn't think it worked. Khaki cotton is always good.
What about the colors? Traditionally, it's the gray, the road team, and the home team wears white. Would you change that?
Well, let's see. If you go beyond salmon, I think you say puce means you're out of the stadium.
Right? Every time I'm in Puce, I'm out of the stadium. Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Don't bother to show up. Mackie Sasser on an error the second inning, scored a run, takes the ball. Now you guys aren't here really to plug movies. You're here because you love baseball.
Yes, sir. It's a beautiful game. I love this game. I used to see it down Squirrel Hollow where I live.
So where's that?
Whoa.
That's just past Resume Speed, right?
Yeah, Resume Speed. The town of Resume Speed. There's another town down there, Speed Bump.
Speed Bump,
Georgia.
Is that where they have the thank you for coming and the entering and leaving sign on the same
Right
post?
there. Have a nice day, maybe.
Mackie Sasser, the hitter, as a matter of fact, from a neighboring state, Alabama.
Well, welcome home.
And a line drive to third baseman Lenny Harris for out number 2.
Holy cow, Yankees down 5-0. That pitching staff, they just signed Wade Hoyt. They're bringing up Wade Hoyt.
Formerly with the Cincinnati Reds.
I know my ball.
But that's because you're not here, Scooter. I mean, you're not there, you're here.
Oh, I'm never anywhere except the golf course in Fairlawn. They got a Lola Falana hole, I tell you. It's unbelievable. Dog leg to the left.
Oh! Yes!
Jesus!
Oh! America!
Oh!
Run the country, America!
Oh!
Okay! Hey!
Ow!
I turned my head to the side like cough. Hey!
Oh!
We got a lawyer in
right?
Oh!
Here comes another one. Are you all right, Billy?
Yeah, I'll be all right in a minute. Whoa! There it is.
Hey, you get a good appreciation of how fast that ball comes back. Huh?
You still don't move to your right well.
I duck now.
You duck! Boy, we got...
Vale City.
This is only his second game that he's ever been to in his life. Really? Yeah. And he got a ball.
Hey, you almost got it. But
It's a great game, isn't it?
Here it is. Here it is. Holy cow.
Look at it come our way. Oh!
Boy.
You hadn't jumped out of the way, Billy.
I'm glad I had protection.
Yes.
We won't talk about that.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Elster with 2 out and nobody on. Is that right, Robin? This is only your second?
Yes, sir. First game was the San Francisco Giants game about 2 weeks ago. It was amazing. I'm talking serious now. I can't believe it. I love baseball.
That's what baseball does to
Yeah, all of a sudden
Oh, nice play. Short hopper. Over to Benzinger, and that's it.
All right, the inning is over. More with Robin Williams and Billy Crystal as the Mets lead it 3-2 after 4. After this for Budweiser.
Thank you for the ball. Thank you for the ball.
Nice clothes, bud.
Then where does she come from?
Last summer, thousands of New Yorkers replaced their air conditioners. The smart ones bought energy-efficient models. If you're thinking of replacing your air conditioner, look for one with an energy efficiency rating of higher than 9. It will keep you comfortable and save you money on your electric bills. For more information, call Con Edison's Project Save. Con Edison, the energy of New York.
Oils are different, and personally, I've always been very choosy. A modern engine requires modern oil. You're asking the oil to do that much more. I think sludge can be a real detrimental factor, but the oil has to be able to overcome that. Be sure that you know the quality of oil that you're putting in there, and if you do that, obviously you'll never have any worry about sludge.
This weekend, Emma Samms, Bobby Brown, Robert Downey Jr., and Louis Anderson on the Arsenio Hall Show Weekend Jam.
Tonight at 11 on Channel 9.
Rick Naylor leads off the top of the 5th inning for Cincinnati. Mets leading 3-2 here at Shea. Final game of the year between the Mets and the Reds. And Ojeda outside with ball 1.
Can I offer an interesting anecdote here?
Certainly.
I had the same surgery Bob Ojeda had, except my finger wasn't fused. I did it in a horrible way and lost the top part and sewed it back on. This guy. And it's the same finger. And mine's back on, and he's pitching really well with it. So
how did you do it? How did you hurt?
I was doing soap.
Oh, really?
And it was on the show, in the rehearsal. I had to leave a door, go out the door, and I closed the door on my finger, and that was it.
Oh.
And they sewed it back on. And actually, there was a great scramble for it. This sounds horrible. It was hanging in the lot, right? And the guy said, the ambulance is there, and he goes, get the finger, get the finger. The guy said, I can't touch it, I'm props. Where's set design? Talk about unions. Get the finger. I can't pick up the finger. I can't figure. He panicked. It was a horrible looking thing, but they had a great surgeon and put it back on. So, it's a lesson anyone who's had any kind of injury like this, that you can come back and look at Ojeda striking Naylor out.
That's his 5th strikeout.
This copyrighted telecast is authorized under television rights granted by the New York Mets, solely for the entertainment of our audience.
Publication, reproduction, and use of these pictures, description, accounts of the game without the written consent of the New York Mets. Sterling W. Enterprises and WWO.
Make believe it's for Dan Quayle.
Okay, and now for Dan Quayle.
You really shouldn't do anything with this. You shouldn't.
Any commercial or the use of this program, such as changing it, charging admission for its showing, is similarly prohibited. You know what I'm saying. We know where you live. Don't do that.
We'll find your house.
Popio's Pocket Better. That's right, Popio's Pocket Better.
Eddie Goodell.
That's right.
You do have to be a top 40 disc jockey to read that in the allotted time. Bunt by Quinones. Ojeda with the play and 2 gone.
Speaking of Ojeda, Billy, he was really having some problems early in the year because of the cold weather, and he really couldn't feel the pitch with which he released the ball, the finger.
So as it's gotten warmer, he's been more effective?
I think so, yeah.
The same thing happened for you?
Yeah, when I'm with a bad audience, my hand just goes dead. That cold feeling.
Whether you're better in summer months.
Yeah, much better. No, I know that feeling. I don't feel this at all. Nothing.
That's your head.
And I lost like an eighth of an inch. We were playing in this celebrity game, and Kareem was playing first base, and I was playing short. Just come back into the mound. Tom Selleck was pitching. He threw to me, got the guy.
Gary Coleman was catching.
And I don't have the grip. I used to have. So we actually use Gary as a donut for the bat. Way to bat, swing him around for it by now. And a ground ball, Elster to the left. Oh! Short hop trouble today here in the infield.
A lot of short hops. That's the 3rd ball that's gone off an infielder. Consequently, that's the 3rd error of the game and the 1st on New York.
Well, maybe during the fight yesterday, they chopped the infield up so much that nobody can get a true hop today.
Well, it looks real soft.
Mike Tyson in left field today. Mike Tyson.
That was the case yesterday. Did you see any of the pictures of the fight?
Yeah.
With Dibble and Tuffle?
I'll meet you in the clubhouse at 9.
Forget that bat and get another.
I want to play in L.A. Okay, by me in L.A.
You never thought you'd hear West Side Story when you turned into this game today.
Hope I don't have to pay
Rights on
Oh, boy, we're in trouble.
Oh, just thought of something.
We both did.
Yankees just scored 3 in the 5th.
No rights fees. You've read the disclaimer.
No, Gene Woodling. They just signed Gene Woodling, brought him out. Gene doubled in. Enos Slaughter was playing. Ran all the way from first.
He's done that before. 2 strikes to Larkin. He was 1 for 2. He had a single his first time up. And
what's he hitting now?
He's hitting 341 at the start of play. Here you go, 342 after his base hit.
He's the starting shortstop.
You asked for it, we give it to you.
Is he the starting shortstop?
No, Ozzie Smith was the winning.
Now, what do you think about that, Steve, while I have you here?
Well, let me tell you. Timmy and I have had a long discussion about this over the last 3 games, I think. And I think that as long as the fans vote, you're going to have guys in there who maybe statistically don't deserve to be there.
That's who they want to see.
But that's who they want to see. And if you're going to leave it in the fans' hands, then that's what you're going to have. If you want to have it based on Howard Johnson should be at third, Larkin should be at short, those types of things, based on what they did the first half of the season, then you can't have the fans vote. And I think the fans should vote because it's their game, not the All-Star game necessarily, but the game of baseball. I think fan voting is good for interest and gives the fans some input. And if you know that going in, then there shouldn't be controversy over people who are elected.
Right.
Who statistically may not be deserved.
Like the situation in the National League where Tom Lasorda picked some players that a lot of controversy. Now, Willie Randolph, who's having a great year out there.
Benzinger running, and a throw is high and not in time.
But some players ranking that they think they're more deserving. Statistically, they might be.
Well, that's a whole other can of worms when you get into the selection by the managers. And I think it's been traditional that the manager has tended to sometimes pick his own players over other guys because he feels and maybe knows even better that they are, in his mind at least, more deserving than someone else. So, you know, I guess you have to look at that as the manager's prerogative.
Right.
I don't see any way that it can be an absolutely fair criteria and that everything is going to work out perfectly. It's not an exact science.
Now, do you think the Dodgers are more effective when Tommy's fat, or...
Last year proved right.
I mean, it looks great, but they've lost nine games off.
This incredible diet system.
They lose everything, weight and games in the standing.
Yeah, a case could be made that the Dodgers might not be as hungry this year as they were last year.
Grounded, fair ball. Johnson with a long throw in time. First. Another sparkling play by Howard Johnson to end the inning. An error and 1 left in the 5th. 4.5 gone. And
that lovely Don Johnson beard, too. That lovely Don Johnson beard.
After this, we're back. After this from Amtrak.
Atlantic City. Oh, yeah.
Now make it to Atlantic City the easy way. Amtrak.
All aboard. AC. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
5 trains every day. For reservations, call your travel agent or call Amtrak at 1-800-USA-RAIL.
With the vision of being the finest home electronics retailer, the founder of The Wiz started what you see today. A growing chain of home entertainment centers, carrying only the most trusted brand names. That was a decision he made, because he knew that there is no substitute for quality. The Wiz offers only the top-of-the-line brand names, no cheap substitutes. So when you want only the best, there is really only one place you can go. Nobody beats The Wiz.
To protect the lives of firefighters, DuPont developed a remarkable fire-resistant fiber for their clothing called Nomex. But perhaps even more remarkable is how it protects those who never even wear it. At DuPont, we make the things that make a difference.
I did not injure in any way my wife or children. I never have.
Face to face with the fatal vision killer, beginning Monday at 10 on the Channel 9 News.
We're going to the bottom of the 5th with the Mets leading 3-2. Billy and Robin have to leave us. We thank them and wish them all the best. Thanks, Billy.
Thank you. It was great fun.
Very pleased.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys. You were terrific. So do we.
All right.
Thanks, Billy.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.
Well, as Eric Davis, or not Eric Davis, but Orlando Rooms corrals the fly from Bob Ojeda. Back in to call it as we regroup Tim McCarver.
Oh. Thank you, folks.
Funny guy.
3-2 Mets here in the bottom of the 5th with 1 out. Samuel on the afternoon, 0 for 2, but his second at bat very interesting with runners at second and third in the second inning. He grounded one toward Barry Larkin at short. Larkin booted it, and Mackie Sasser and Kevin Elster alertly scored. I say alertly for Elster because Sam Perlazzo, the third base coach, made a terrific play sending Elster. Kevin had slowed down getting to third. Perlazzo taking a chance, and he made a terrific play. 2 balls and a strike to Juan Samuel. There's Sammy. To Samuel. I'll tell you one thing, Steve. This tape is a keeper, regardless of what happens. 2 very, very funny men.
Billy has Phil Rizzuto down pat.
Oh, the scooter.
Boy, oh boy, was that a close play. As Quinones waited for the ball, and Samuel, as he always does, ran as hard as he could to first base. Quinones with a little extra time on the crow hop, and watch how close this is. Bill Robinson with a safe sign, and Samuel thought he was safe as well.
Nope, I thought he had him.
I think so too, just barely. Bang, bang play.
Routine ground ball, and Samuel almost beats it out. Here's Mazzilli with 2 out. 3-2. New York on top. The Mets with only 3 hits, and the Reds with 5. The key defensive play of the game, Strawberry robbing Jeff Reed of a home run. In the 4th inning, Mazzilli grounds out, an easy inning for Mailer as the Mets go in order. And after 5, it's 3-2 New York, and we're back after this from Budweiser.
What? Thousands do. Come on, Big Brewhuna, surf's up.
Let's do it, Brew Doggy.
Hey, everybody, there's going to be a surf-off.
We'll see who's king.
Your butt is mine.
Come on, let's check it out.
Gotta watch out, bud. You're getting a little red.
Watch it, you big one.
Oh, Brew Doggy, you're my can.
Let's go.
Hey, that's a big wave.
Whoa, I'm big. Go big. It's
the Bud Size High Five. Hey, Buds, now you can get your own Bud to the Beach sunglasses just like they wear in the movie. Look for this display wherever Bud and Bud Light are sold for a special offer. Now back to our show. Woohoo.
Oh, we're here for
Oh, whoa.
What happened?
Who won?
Big Brufuna. You're crazy.
Next time, let's just arm wrestle.
What's that?
Matchmaker, matchmaker, help me lose weight. I gotta work out. This can't be my fate. Matchmaker, matchmaker, gotta get tight. This time I'll do it right.
The New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. No other book has more ads, more choices, more of what you need.
Make me a perfect match.
The genuine New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company.
No splashing. Hey, quit that horsing around. Oh, hi! No one in. The water's great.
There is no water.
Oh, no imagination, huh? Should have stayed at Holiday Inn. They've got the real stuff. Pools, games, restaurants, and all for as low as $29. Oh, no more chit-chat. Time for horseback riding. Whoa, big fella!
Don't get burned this summer. The real fun's at Holiday Inn for only $29 to $59. Call now and stay with someone you know.
Eric Davis on the first pitch, grounds one up the middle, and a fine play by Greg Jeffries to get him. One out here in the 6th on one pitch.
Well, high to Port St. Lucie.
Right fielder, Paul O'Neill.
Keith Hernandez, of course, down there on his rehab assignment. Back Port St. Lucie playing at Miami today, and Keith should be back and says that he thinks he'll be ready to go right after the All-Star break in Atlanta.
Paul O'Neill 0 for 2, takes ball 1. Yeah, Keith 3 for 4 in a game last night. That's incidental compared to how his leg feels. Fastball is outside and low, 2-0. A fine ball game here. A brilliant play by Darryl Strawberry in the 4th inning. Robbing Jeff Reed of a home run, the defensive play of the game. And maybe of the year for the Mets.
Well, they turned it into an inning-ending double play because of the base-running mistake that allowed Lenny Harris to be caught off.
O'Neill rifles one to left for a base hit, his first of the game, the 6th for the Reds, and Rolando Rooms coming up.
The Reds had a runner on when Reed hit that ball over the fence in the right field bullpen, but Strawberry went up and got it, and then Harris, tagging up, inexplicably rounded third, even though third base coach Dave Bristol was trying to get him to hold up. Strawberry threw the ball in, and Johnson tagged out Harris for the double play.
Ball is low on the changeup to Rooms. 3-2 Mets on top. The Reds have Paul O'Neill at first base. With one out, Rooms is 1 for 2. He single, stole second, and scored on a base hit by Lenny Harris in that 4th inning. 1-1 to Rooms. Changeup lifted to center field. Saw him well back and now in, and he makes the play. Fans, now's your chance to get your very own beach sunglasses. Just look for a Bud to Go beach display wherever you buy Budweiser or Bud Light for a special offer on a great pair of shades. And you'd need them on a day like today, wouldn't you?
That's why we have ours on. I'll tell you what, packed house here at Shea, an absolutely beautiful day, and it's shirt sleeves and sunglasses all over them.
There goes O'Neill, ground ball right side. Jeffries an easy play. Shuffles off to Mazzilli. So the Reds fail to score in the 6th, still 3-2 Mets, mid-6th, and we're back after this from your Lincoln Mercury dealers.
In the past 5 years, over 91,000 Cadillac owners have become Lincoln owners, which has helped make Lincoln the #1 selling luxury cars in the tri-state area. That's right, the Lincolns are #1. Lincoln Continental, one of the 10 best cars. The undiminished, uncompromised Lincoln Town Car. And Lincoln Mark 7, called by Motor Trend a powerful driving statement. Plus, right now, get $1,500 customer cash on Town Car and Mark 7, $1,000 on Continental. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be, #1.
Now you can win with the Mets. Each time you use your Mets MasterCard from Manufacturers Hanover Trust, you get another entry to the Mets MasterCard sweepstakes. And each month, there's a powerful lineup of great Mets prizes that you can win. So if you've got the card, use it. If you don't, apply now. Hey, who knows more about winning with the Mets than me? The Mets MasterCard from Manufacturers Hanover. To apply, call 1-800-MHT-METS. Anytime.
Sometimes the roads are long. So it's good to know you've got some friends along the way. Pull into any Exxon retailer, and you'll find gasolines unsurpassed at cleaning your engine, and service unsurpassed at keeping you going. And that'll never change, because quality products and services are why people have been coming into Exxon, and why they keep coming back.
Thanks.
This may surprise you, but Rudy Giuliani said the death penalty is only a limited deterrent to crime. He's wrong. Rudy Giuliani, a liberal.
Time for Mets Memories, and Mets Memories are brought to you by The Wiz. It was July 9th, 1969, the top of the ninth. The Mets leading 4-0, a man on, and Jim Qualls, single to left center, broke up 8 1/3 innings of perfectly pitched baseball by Tom Seaver. Seaver settled for a one-hit shutout. He struck out 11 in the game, and the win put the Mets within 3 games of the first-place Cubs as they beat Chicago 4-0. Remember, nobody beats The Wiz.
Howard Johnson takes a fastball outside from Rick Mailer. A ball and no strikes. 3-2 Mets here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ojo, a fielder's choice. He scored on a double by Strawberry in the 1st and flied to right in the 3rd. Right field and playable. 1 out. Tom Seaver, number 41, one of 3 numbers retired in New York Mets history, and they are in left field. Gil Hodges, number 14, the inimitable Casey Stengel, number 37, and Tom Terrific. And this town and this stadium will never forget his performances here at Shea. Curveball high to Strawberry.
Tom, of course, will be performing at the Mets Fantasy Camp this winter in Port St. Lucie.
Ground ball right side, and Quinones throws out Strawberry. Darrell now 1 for 3, 2 outs, and Kevin McReynolds coming up.
Which brings to mind the opportunity to tell you that in answer to the inquiries we've had about the Fantasy Camp now called Ultimate Week, get out a pencil and write down this number. During regular business hours, you can call 800-525-METS. 800-525-METS. Who knows, you might be able to get an at-bat against George Thomas Seaver.
I might keep a few people away. No balls, 1 strike to Kevin McReynolds. Inside, 1-1. I'll tell you, when Tom Seaver was on the mound, there were a lot of guys who came up with mysterious illnesses on teams on which I played, I'll tell you.
Seaveritis.
Yeah. 2 balls and a strike. 3-2 Mets here in the 6th.
For a lot of Mets fans, though, that would be the ultimate fantasy, would be to stand in there and take a hack.
Yeah.
It's Tom Seaver, even now.
Ground ball, left side. Harris on a fine play throws out McReynolds. It's been a strange game as Rick Mailer has retired 13 in a row. Some good defensive play in the infield and some bad. There are the numbers. We're back after this from Bud Light.
What do you have? Give me 2 pizza puffs, chili dog. Excuse me. Gus, 1 minute. Sorry. Give me 2 pizza puffs, a chili dog, a large.
Hey, look. Gus, I told you, to be hot dog kings, we need lots of Bud Light. Not Bull Black?
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
Now what do you think? It's beautiful.
Because everything else is just a light.
Hey, what about my pizza puffs?
The ad's telling me I'm saving 35% over AT&T on my long distance. Well, that's news to me. I take out my bill from home, so where's the big savings? I go back, I read the fine print. Well, minor details. You gotta make calls more than 900 and something miles, and you gotta make these short little calls. Like, hi, Bill. It's me. What a game, huh? How's the kids? Well, sorry, I gotta run. Who makes calls like that?
People who thought they could do better than AT&T are coming back for the real value. Aren't you glad you never left?
At Meter, we think a copier company that makes TVs, CDs, VCRs, stereos, microwaves, tape recorders, vacuum cleaners, refrigerators, air conditioners, telephone answering machines, and bicycles. Doesn't sound like a very good idea. Meter. All we make are great copiers. Call 1-800-ABC-METER.
Holy Cape Crusaders. Batman is coming to Channel 9 July 28th.
7th inning here at Shea. Mets leading the Reds 3-2. Mookie Wilson into the game, replacing Darryl Strawberry in right field as Strawberry and his bad toe take the rest of the day off. And Bob Ojeda to face catcher Jeff Reed, who leads off for Cincinnati and takes a strike. Reed is 0 for 2. He grounded to second in the second inning and then was robbed of a home run by Strawberry going over the right field fence. Play on which an eventual double play occurred to end the inning, as the Reds would have, even after that, had a runner at third with 2 out. But the good play by Strawberry and the bad base running by Harris.
Wow.
Look at that.
Outside the strikeouts, Mailer and Ojeda matching each other almost pitch for pitch.
Fastball just misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Mailer has come out the on-deck circle, and should Reed get on, I would imagine Rose will leave Mailer in to bunt him over. If not, there will probably be a pinch hitter for Rick.
Outside again, 2-2. And Norm Charlton starts to loosen up in anticipation of that very fact. And that breaking ball over Reed's head, not as much of a reaction as the first one had when Ojeda had a breaking ball get away from him. After yesterday, any pitch close will draw some kind of reaction. And a ground ball to short, a big high hop that Elster has to wait for, and then he throws high and pulls Mazzilli off the bag. Mazzilli arguing he was not off the bag, but Jim Quick calls Reed safe, and Davy Johnson's out to argue.
Well, if you're Lee Mazzilli, you got to be very careful when you argue, and I'm sure that's what Davy was thinking when he came out there to get Mazzilli out of there, so he wasn't run from the game. Maganin with a sore back. Tim Tuffle had his back x-rayed earlier in the game. And Mookie Wilson's in the game. And I think Quick said that Mazzilli was off the bag. Let's take another look at it.
Number 29, Herm Winningham.
I tell you, it was awfully close.
The pitcher, Rick Mailer.
I couldn't tell whether his foot was on the bag or not. Well, very, very close.
If Maz did come off, he came off momentarily, and maybe that's what Quick was calling.
How many times do you see 2 errors in 1 game on Kevin Elster?
Well, that's for sure. That is the 5th error of the game, the 3rd against New York. Now, Eric Gregg, I guess Davy Johnson was still hollering from the dugout. Gregg went over to say something to Davy. Jim Quick, with whom Johnson was arguing first, is the crew chief. But Big Eric, the home plate umpire. So Reed safe at first on the 3rd error of the day against New York. Mailer to bunt, and he fouls it back for strike 1. Herm Winningham into the game as a pinch runner for Reed. And Winningham carries the potential tying run.
Rose can do a lot of things with Rick Mailer. He can handle the bat. Mailer, a good hitting pitcher. So if the count becomes favorable, you may see him hitting.
Now it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
At 3rd giving the signs. Hey, it could be the hit and run right here, even though Mailer's squaring around.
And the runner goes. Johnson in at 3rd, has it go off his glove, and it's a fair ball. Elster will have to run it down now. McReynolds is going to get it. Winningham is going to score all the way from first, and the game is tied at 3. You were absolutely correct, Mr. McCarver. And it worked perfectly for the Cincinnati Reds as Mailer's down at 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, everything in their favor with Johnson in at 3rd. And this ball off the glove of Hojo. Had he not touched it, it may have gone foul without touching his glove, which would have been just a foul, harmless ball. But because he's so close, he had to jump for it. and it's off his glove, and by the time McReynolds gets to it, Winningham has scored, and Mailer has a double.
For Mailer,
good baseball by Cincinnati.
Excellent call. Aguilera warming for New York. Bobby Ojeda leaving the game now with the game tied, and he cannot win this game. But with Mailer in scoring position at second, he's in jeopardy of being charged with the go-ahead run if Cincinnati should score here in the 7th again. So while we have a break in the action of 3-3 tie here in the 7th, we'll return to Shea after this for Texaco Haviland Motor Oil.
Exotic alloys, complex designs. Today's automobile engines are minor miracles of efficiency and power, but at a price. They generate more of the damaging filth called sludge. Today, what's required is a motor oil scientifically formulated to virtually eliminate sludge. There is one, Haviland Superior Grade.
We thought everyone knew that no other major brand of orange juice comes closer to this than this, Tropicana Pure Premium. But much to our surprise, we found a small group that was just about to try it. Of course, we'd like to encourage everyone to discover for themselves why you just can't pick a better juice.
Tara Meyer's dream of a beautiful wedding almost ended 2 months ago in a car accident. Unfortunately, she wasn't wearing a seatbelt and her face shattered the windshield. But because the windshield was a new type, developed by DuPont, the razor-sharp glass stayed outside, away from Tara's face. At DuPont, we make the things that make a difference. Better things for better living.
Most dashboards can't tell you about your transmission, but Lee Miles can. The 1095 Transmission Protection Service. Only.
Rick Aguilera comes into the game with a runner at second base, and Aggie has just been so good this year that the Mets were able to trade Roger McDowell, their stopper, their right-handed stopper over the past 4 years. So Rick will come in, and he has his work cut out for him.
Rick Mailer is out of the ball game as Mailer doubled on the hit and run to drive in the tying run, but he has been replaced by Marty Brown as a pinch runner at second.
And think about the logic with this, Steve. Rose allowed Mailer to hit because at that time the Reds trailed by a run, and Mailer had pitched well, pitched out of a lot of jams, had given up only 1 earned run. And now when he works, he allows Mailer to swing away, and Mailer ends up at second. Rose wants to go to his bullpen anyway, one of the best in baseball, so that's why they use the pinch runner.
Quinones to bunt, and he fouls it off for strike 1. Norm Charlton continues to throw in the Reds bullpen as he will be the pitcher for Cincinnati in the bottom of the 7th.
And now Mailer can only win the game, so Rose wanted to put him into a situation where he could only win as a reward for pitching well. That's why Brown didn't pinch hit for Mailer, because at the time they were trailing by a run.
Quinones to bunt again, takes it back, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, that's good managing.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Good treatment, for lack of a better word,
of
your starting pitcher.
It's very, very logical.
Scott Breeden, the pitching coach, checking out the lineup card. Nobody out here in the 7th inning. A run in for Cincinnati to tie it at 3. And Marty Brown, the pinch runner for Mailer at second. Quinones to bunt again. Bunts it back to the mound. Aguilera will go to first in time, and the sacrifice moves the go-ahead run. Marty Brown to third base, now with 1 out.
Third baseman, Scott Benzinger.
And that brings up Todd Benzinger, who is 1 for 3. Benzinger had an infield base hit and scored a run in the 1st inning. He struck out looking in the 3rd, reached on an error on Elster, and stole a base, but was stranded in the 5th inning. Infield in for New York. And a strike call to Benzinger.
Aguilera's strikeout pitch is split finger fastball. So if you're a catcher, you really have to be on your toes or on your knees to get down and block that pitch.
Low and inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Benzinger has a little power, 8 homers and 40 RBIs this year, and 15 doubles as well. Fouled off out of play, 1 and 2. Another one out of play. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. This has been a strange game. I alluded to it earlier, Timmy, but a combination of some rare combinations. Some poor play, some outstanding play defensively, some good pitching, and some mistakes. Too high, 2 and 2.
This is unusual. He's thrown 5 straight fastballs to Benzinger. And remember, his strikeout pitch is a split finger fastball. There are a lot of times that you're not privy to information. He may have a twinge in his arm, a little pain or something. He might not want to throw the split finger. You just don't know.
There it is. There it is. And it worked. So a big strikeout with a runner at third and 1 out. Now a runner at third and 2 out as Benzinger goes down swinging.
Well, I'll tell you, Aguilera and Sasser certainly set Todd Benzinger up. That's a surprise, a switch hitter to lead the Reds in strikeouts. Very unusual. But Aguilera getting a big one there. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he's number 1. What a face.
He knows the camera's on him, doesn't he?
A great smile with very few teeth. The ball inside to Barry Larkin, who is 1 for 3. Larkin had a single center back in the first. Second to Tony Gwynn in the National League batting brace. Another base hit, a line drive. No! Caught by Samuel. Juan Samuel with the diving catch of the line drive to end the inning. And the game remains tied as the Reds strand a runner at third. It's 3-3 in the middle of the 7th. Back after this for Metropolitan Life.
Lucy, are you okay? I think I got whiplash. And a concussion. Every now and then, life hits you with some very sour notes, and doctor bills can really add up. At MetLife, we do all we can to pay your thing promptly. Get Met. It pays.
Nobody tells me like the daily news.
You know what? There's some people out there who say I'm controversial. And you know what else? They're right.
Hey kids, catch Sports Illustrated for Kids and Psycho Products Day, Sunday, July 23rd, when the Mets take on the Braves. All fans 14 and under will receive a copy of the new Sports Illustrated for Kids magazine and a Psycho Products water bottle featuring the Mets' official #1 logo. The action starts at 1:35, and tickets are available at all Ticketron outlets, Shea's advanced ticket window, or call 718-507-TIXX for information. Mets baseball, excellence again and again.
Fans, pack up all your cares and woe in a Mets sports bag and smile, 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 thanks to RC Cola. On Saturday night, July 22nd, when the Mets host the Atlanta Braves at 7:35, all fans will receive a Mets blue sports bag with the official #1 logo, courtesy of RC Cola. Tickets are available at all Ticketron outlets, Shea Stadium's advanced ticket window, or you can call 718-507-TIXX for more information. Mets baseball, excellence again and again.
The 7th inning stretch just completed here at Shea, and Norm Charlton into the game in relief of Rick Mailer. And the first pitch to Greg Jeffries popped up into short center field. Larkin and trouble.
You could see uh-oh written all over that.
Davis and Quinones colliding. Rooms also came in there. Larkin pulled off the play, and Davis is still down.
Oh, boy. See, people talk about fundamental baseball without realizing that if you don't play good fundamentally, something like this could happen. Nobody took charge. Nobody takes charge, and this is what happened. And it looked like Davis and Quinones getting their shoulders, arms entwined, and it appeared from the picture that Quinones took the worst of this, but it appears now that Davis does. Davis slamming down on his left shoulder, the whole body coming down on top of his... No? It must have sprained it somewhere in the collision. Credit Jeffries for being on second base, though.
That's
running
right.
hard.
Davis landed on his shoulder. It looked like his knee also came down and hit the leg of Quinones.
Yep.
And, of course, they collided pretty hard. Davis had his arm extended, and when he and Quinones crashed into each other, so maybe his shoulder was injured on the collision rather than when he fell. See, Quinones comes right into his shoulder there. And they go down.
Davis didn't take charge because he didn't see the ball initially, and now when he does, it's too late to yell. Gosh. Whiplash, it appeared, and it looked like Quinones' neck is bothering him.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Was that his Quinones looked like his neck really got snapped.
Did it ever. And it looks like the left shoulder of Eric Davis. And we are obviously hoping that he's all right.
Well, they haven't put a hit up on the board, but it's got to be a double all the way for Jeffrey.
Got to be. Eric has averaged only 122 games a year. And one of the criticisms of the multi-talented Davis is that he doesn't play all the games. Well, leg problems heretofore, and we are certainly hoping that Eric Davis is all right.
Eric Davis has sort of a whippet build. He's well built, he's muscled, but he's not tremendously strongly built.
Not a big man,
No,
only
he's
weighs
not.
165 pounds.
Right. He's strong, but he is not large or muscular.
No.
And sometimes that works against him in his durability. There are different kinds of strength. Davis has that lithe kind of strength, not the strong build. So Charlton's thrown one pitch and a lot has happened already.
Number 39. Well, a lot happened yesterday to Norm Charlton in the confrontation with Juan Samuel. I was in the clubhouse before the game, and Charlton came over. I was speaking.
Oh, excuse me, Timmy, but Eric Gregg just got hit by the bat of Phil Lombardi. What else is going to happen here?
Batting from, oh, boy.
Eric was holding his mask. Lombardi was taking a practice swing and didn't see Eric behind him. And I think he hit Eric right on the hand and got the bat, the hand between the bat and the mask.
Eric appears to be all right.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I was watching Charlton. Charlton's going to be taken out of there. And Rob Dibble coming in, roommates.
Boy. Well, we'll see if there are any fireworks. Dibble greeted to some boos because of yesterday. Of course, he's in enemy territory. It's a 3-3 tie in the bottom of the 7th, and we're back after this for Budweiser.
It's just a pure and natural beer for you. So icy cold, so crisp, so clear for you. The king of beer, so fresh, so true for you. You got the taste, this Bud's for you.
What could be more exciting than signing with the Mets? The new Mets MasterCard from Manufacturers Hanover Trust. It's got everything you'd expect from MasterCard, plus a powerful lineup of special Mets benefits.
Thanks, Mr. John.
Of course, it's good just about everywhere for just about anything. You know, sometimes I wish I could use this card just to buy me a run. The Mets MasterCard from Manufacturers Hanover. To apply, call 1-800-MHT-METS anytime.
When it's time to put an ad in the Yellow Pages, why do most advertisers use the New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages? Because the book to be in is the book most people look in, the genuine New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. The book that's been matching more people to more services for over 100 years. No wonder it's called The Matchmaker. To bring more business to your business, be in the right book. Make a perfect match. The genuine New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Athletic Company.
Rob Dibble is the pitcher. And the numbers on Dibble, 92 strikeouts, far and away, leads all relievers in either league. Nobody's even close.
And look at the innings pitched.
Yep. But to complete that story about Franco, Charlton came over to Franco and said, "Do you think I ought to wear this today?" And he was pointing to his sweatshirt with his name on the back. And John said, "No, I think you'll be all right." But Norm really thinking that he might ought to go out there without his name on the back. And I'm sure Dibble feels the same way.
Dibble in the game to face Phil Lombardi batting for Mackey Sasser, and Lombardi with a check swing, roller to first. Benzinger steps on the bag, and it serves the purpose of a sacrifice as Jeffries moves to third now with 1 out.
The shortstop, Kevin Elster.
And it brings up Kevin Elster, who is 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored back in the 2nd.
You might be thinking, well, what about a pinch hitter in this situation? Remember, Mookie Wilson already in for Strawberry, Lombardi batting for Sasser. Tuffle is injured, so the only other pinch hitters you have, Keith Miller, Mark Carrion. With that in mind, you might see Elster with a squeeze play here. Davey hates that play, but he might be forced into it right now.
The Reds have the infield in, and Elster did not appear to be bunting, and the pitch called a strike. Although Elster thought it was outside, 0-1. Bo Diaz is into the game, catching for Cincinnati. Diaz replaced Reed. A fastball popped up and drifting over and out of play. And it's 2 strikes. There's Bo underneath the gear. Mark Carrion on deck as a pinch hitter for Rick Aguilera.
Eric Gregg looking over to the Cincinnati dugout. We might add that something happened and we didn't know anything about it. Tom Browning, the starting pitcher in yesterday's game, was run 2 innings ago by Eric Gregg. He was thrown out of the game by Eric Gregg. We do not know the genesis of the problem.
Elster with a drive to center field. Davis coming on, makes the catch. Safe at home. Jeffries was held up by Perlazo, but he ignored it and scores the go-ahead run.
I'll tell you why I would have gone if I were Jeffries. It's because of the collision that Davis had earlier in the inning. He's a brilliant defensive outfielder, but there's no way that a guy with good speed is going to slow down right here. Excellent base running by Greg Jeffries. That run is charged to Norm Charlton, who gave up the bloop double to Jeffries. As Jeffries under the tag easily. And it's 4-3 New York. An RBI for Elster, his 20th of the year. And now Rick Aguilera will bat for himself. Think about that trip around the bases. Now Jeffries has a bad at bat. He pops it up in the left center. Some guys would be on first base. Jeffries ends up on second, goes to third on the Lombardi ground out, and scores on a ball that normally you wouldn't score on. So give Greg Jeffries a big star on his cap for that piece of base running. Pure hustle right there. Yes, sir. Well, Aguilera took a pitch inside, and the crowd reacted as Rob Dibble can do no right here at Shea today. Breaking ball missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now they're chanting. That's high. 2-1. They're chanting Dibble. Dibble. Well, it's certainly not nibble. I'll tell you that. This is what one thing this guy doesn't do is nibble. Not in his vocabulary. And he fires another one, but it misses, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Two out and nobody on, but a run in here in the bottom of the 7th to give New York a 1-run lead. Ball 4. That is the first walk issued by a Cincinnati pitcher today. And it'll bring up Juan Samuel. And if you know what happened yesterday, you will be watching this at bat rather closely. So will Eric Gregg, rather. High and away, ball 1. Breeden, the pitching coach, coming to home plate, perhaps a double switch, or perhaps Breeden is just going to say, I don't want this to count because I want to check out Dibble's physical condition, and John Franco is warming up. And the physical condition, I think you're exactly right, Steve, because the trip to the mound does not count. So you have to think that something could be wrong with Dibble because of the clash with Tuffle yesterday. Tuffle went to the hospital earlier today. He had his back x-rayed, and it's fine. But Dibble is not the same pitcher today that he was before the fight yesterday. And, you know, even if it's not physical, it could be mental just because of the packed house full of hostility and the fact that there's some pressure on him not to throw inside. You'll notice that most of the pitches have been away, up and away to the hitters. Samuel fouls it back. That was about the first one he's really thrown in the strike zone, 3-1. Or rather, 1-1. Check swing foul into the New York dugout with authority. Sammy looking in there to be sure everybody's all right. 1-2. Dave West wound up with the ball. Fly ball into deep right field. O'Neill back. Gone! Home run, Samuel! Johnson has got to be sending thank you cards to Rob Dibble, Norm Charlton, and all of the Reds for really sparking his ball club. Now, the fact that Samuel gets his first home run, that's probably coincidental. But I'll tell you one thing. Juan Samuel's presence with the New York Mets was enhanced by the incident in yesterday's ball game. No question about it.
Well, if you were with us at the beginning of the telecast, we talked about it, and I certainly concur, Timmy. I think that it may be, and when all is said and done, the incident that brought this team not only together, but out of the doldrums.
And you folks may think it's all hype and everything. We'll see at the end of the season. But if the Mets go on to win their division, it might be yesterday's action that provoked the winning of the National League East this year for New York, if that happens.
Dibble out of there as the Mets have now taken a 6-3 lead on Juan Samuel's 2-run home run, his first as a New York Met. And we're back to Shea after this for Nissan.
This is Nissan's most expensive sports car, the $450,000 world record-holding GTP ZX Turbo. This is the all-new Nissan 300ZX. It costs about $422,000 less. There's also the 240SX for under $14,000. And Maxima, the 4-door sports car for under $18,000. See them all on display at the Marlboro Grand Prix, presented by Nissan July 14th through 16th at the Meadowlands.
Nothing's too good for my baby. Nothing. So my baby gets very special treatment.
There's a gasoline so special, it even exceeds BMW's detergency standard.
What up? Ultra.
Sunoco Ultra 94. Clean power from the highest octane under the sun. Nothing else can match it.
Nothing.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
Davy Johnson looking calm, cool, and collected. And, Timmy, I'd have to agree with you. It's about time to send a thank you note.
Yeah.
Over to the Reds dugout, as the Mets appear to be fired up since yesterday.
Ken Tekulve with appearance 1,046. He is now only 25 appearances behind Hoyt Wilhelm, who has the all-time appearance record in Major League Baseball. He has been a remarkable story for a lot of years. But, you know, just think about it, Steve. Managers think of the proper thing to say to inspire a ball club. What kind of inspiration can I give? Well, there are no messages necessary. Davey got all of the messages that he wanted to say in a very unusual package yesterday. That's part of the package right there.
Right. Juan Samuel involved in the altercation, and one of the players who was ejected yesterday as the Mets rallied to his and Tuffle's defense in big ways.
And how it went on after the game, we understand that Charlton, Danny Jackson, and Tom Browning, the 3 left-handed pitchers for the Reds, were ready to confront Juan Samuel and Darryl Strawberry in the tunnel below the stadium. They had actually, from what I understand, gone out into the hall, and security guards had to hold them back.
This happened after they had called the clubhouse.
Yeah, right. I think Charlton was looking for Samuel. Yes. Darryl Strawberry answered the phone, and Darryl said, to get to him, you have to go through me. So the 2 contingents, led by Strawberry and Charlton, were headed for further provocation or further confrontation. But the security forces here at Shea had to stop it. That's serious when it carries on after the game.
Yep. And that could have been part of the reason Browning was ejected in the 3rd inning from this game, is a carryover. And what he was doing in the dugout that caused him to be ejected could have been part of that. Lee Mazzilli, the batter against Colby, ran up the bunt, missed it, strike one. Naz 1 for 3. Had a single in the first inning. Since then, he's lined to center and grounded to second. 2 out, and the Mets have scored 3 here in the 7th inning to lead 6-3. Fouled off out of play, and it's 0-2. An eventful 7th inning as the Reds scored a run to tie the game in the top of the 7th. And the bottom half of the 7th has been eventful to say the least. 3 pitchers have worked this inning for the Reds. Mazzilli with a high, deep drive to right again. O'Neill back, and he makes the catch over the top of the fence as he takes a home run away from Mazzilli, and the inning is over. But 3 runs for New York give the Mets a 6-3 lead. Going to the 8th inning after this for Budweiser.
Beechwood Age, for the taste so crisp and clean, so refreshing, it's the king of beers.
Exotic alloys, complex designs. Today's automobile engines are minor miracles of efficiency and power, but at a price. They generate more of the damaging filth called sludge. Today, what's required is a motor oil scientifically formulated to virtually eliminate sludge. There is one, Haviland Superior Grade.
This is Nissan's most expensive sports car, the $450,000 world record-holding GTP ZX Turbo. This is the all-new Nissan 300 ZX. It costs about $422,000 less. There's also the 240 SX for under $14,000. And Maxima, the 4-door sports car, for under $18,000. See them all on display at the Marlboro Grand Prix, presented by Nissan, July 14th through 16th at the Meadowlands.
On the next Cosby Show, a gridiron legend makes a comeback.
Monday at 7, right here on Channel 9.
8th inning baseball here at Shea, and a happy, packed house on hand as the Mets now lead it 6-3. Game with all kinds of things swirling around it in the dugouts, in the clubhouses.
Well, I'll tell you, our pregame show, I don't know if you happened to see it last Tuesday, July the 4th, when our pal Steve Zabriskie donned the chef hat in the Cookamania 89. And if you want to join, just call Steve at his unlisted number down in Orlando, Florida, that we'll be giving later for all of the contestants. No. Chef Zabriskie cook-off contest.
Oh, boy, the most amazing thing about that is that when I was on camera with the chef's hat on, the camera didn't break. And secondly, that you and Ralph survived eating some of that food. 2 strikes to Davis. And if we don't hold it again until July 4th, it'll be too soon. Davis is 1 for 3. He drove in a run with a single in the first inning. And high heat from Aguilera, and I mean some serious heat for strike 3.
Right fielder, Paul O'Neill.
Well, let's check out the Sears financial update, the week in review on Wall Street as we get ready for the market opening tomorrow. The market was up almost 50 points this last week, but the S&P 500 was down. Gold and silver both up a little bit. Gold up a little over $8. So that's the Wall Street report, brought to you by Sears. And here's Paul O'Neill, who was also 1 for 3. O'Neill singled to left his last time up. think you could probably count on one finger the outings that Rick Aguilera has had that have been less than stellar this year. I can only remember one time when he struggled at all. This is a lazy fly ball into center field. The wind blowing a little into left center, and Samuel has it for out number 2.
Left fielder, Rolando Rooms.
2 out and nobody on for Rolando Rooms.
Only time that Rick has had a bad outing, really, even though he's lost 3 games. The 20th of June, in an inning and a third, he gave up 4 hits and 3 earned runs against the Expos for his 2nd loss. That really his only bad outing that I can remember.
Me either. Strike 1 to Rooms, who had a single and scored a run in the 4th. And that's out of play for strike 2. We have a report that Rob Dibble left the game because of a sore right elbow. So whether or not it was sore because of the altercation yesterday or not, we don't know, but it's a possibility. Obviously, the Reds were concerned about it because Scott Breeden went out earlier in the inning. Another one fouled out of play by Rooms. Still 0-2. And this is really one of the keys, and a big, big key, and Timmy, you preach this all the time, to Aggie's success this year is that he has almost always gotten ahead of the hitters, which of course makes the splitter doubly tough. And there's a breaking ball in the dirt, but Rooms doesn't bite, and it's 1-2.
I think Jim Palmer's explanation of pitching from a very simple standpoint, stay ahead and then expand the strike zone. And that's what you can do. When you're ahead, you get them to go after bad balls.
That's what Aggie's trying to do. If he pitches Rooms way inside, I guess he really gets in the kitchen, huh? It's a room.
There's no end to the rooms.
Could be the dining room, could be the living room. Now it's 3-2, though.
Might be the ante-room, right?
Well, when you're pitching against him, you're anti-Rooms anyway.
Yep.
Foul off into the Reds dugout. Still 3-2. He could at least get in his pantry, if not his kitchen. Another one fouled off. Boy, that one hit the facing of the Mets dugout.
That's pots and pans material right there. That's
scatter some stuff.
Mackey's leaving. Mackey said, look, I've been brave. I was taken out for a pinch hitter. I tried to stay around, but now I'm going to use a little cover.
Hide behind one of the clubhouse guys.
That's not Vinny Greco, is it?
No, that's not Vinny. But Vinny, the assistant clubhouse manager of the Mets, is having a birthday today. Happy birthday, Vinny. Another caught by Jeffries, and the inning is over. So on Vinny Greco's birthday, which I guess this date will forever be known as, the Mets lead 6-3 in the middle of the 8th. We're back for more of the Greco birthday celebration after this for the good old skies.
Photographer comes in the other day, and he starts taking pictures of the Supreme.
The International?
Yeah, he's got the lights and the other thing, and he's talking to the car while he's saying, you're beautiful, baby. That's perfect. Hold that. Like the car's going to move, you know? So I said, excuse me, Scavulo, would you actually like to buy the Supreme, or you just want the pictures for your coffee table? And he says, she's got such a look to her. So I said, she? So he puts his hands on the hood of the car, and he says, Phoebe, I want to spend my life with you.
RC Cola has a real eye-opener for you. You could win one of 100 1989 Mazda B2200 pickups instantly in the Pickup and RC Sweepstakes. How? Just enjoy a refreshing can of RC Cola. Then look, peer, peek, squint, stare, or scan the bottom of your RC Cola can to see if you've won. Any way you look at it, there's 100 chances to win. So truck on over to your favorite store. Come on, say yes to the winning taste of RC. You could win a Mazda pickup instantly.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
Yeah, I put new brakes in my car last night. Did you go to Meineke? No. Why?
Before you do something dumb, remember, it's smart to come to Meineke.
Hojo leads it off, and what a month he had in June. And for that, before the game, Howard Johnson was named the MetLife Met of the Month, as Tony Williamson, vice president for MetLife, presented Hojo with the award, and on his behalf, MetLife will donate $1,000 to the National Association for the Prevention of Child Abuse. All Hojo did was hit .340 in June with a triple, 11 home runs, drove in 24 runs, and his slugging percentage for the month was .770. Just an awesome month and not a bad season. Fly ball to center. Davis drifting back and one away. So one out in the 8th as the Mets lead the Reds 6-3. And Mookie Wilson will bat for the first time. Mookie replaced Darryl Strawberry defensively in right field in the 7th inning. Line drive and looper to left. Falls in front of Rooms for a base hit. So Mookie with a one-out single here in the 8th inning.
Left fielder, Kevin McReynolds.
Well, the Mets of the month in April was Len Dykstra, and then last month, Barry Lyons won it, filling in for Gary Carter. Hojo, of course, in June, and who's going to do it in July?
Wouldn't it be something if Juan Samuel won the MetLife Player of the Month for July and Dykstra winning it in April?
Be a nice little coin-to-bank. Outside to Kevin McReynolds. Ball 1. Mack on the day 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and flied to right. The way Samuel has started July, he's got a leg up on it. Samuel's hitting 5 straight games. A 2-run home run today. Colby with a token throw to first. As it stands right now, Norm Charlton, who faced only one batter, Greg Jeffries, who had a bloop double on the collision between Quinones and Davis, stands to be the losing pitcher in the game. As Jeffries tagged up on that short fly ball to center and scored from third for the 4th run for New York to break the 3-3 tie. Wilson bluffed going, and McReynolds takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mets have been selling out. There's Jeffries on deck. And the sellout crowds have certainly been entertained the last 3 days here at Shea. Now Wilson goes. The pitch is a strike. The ball in the dirt, but a good play by Quinones. And a very close play, but Wilson out at second.
Fine play by Luis Quinones to not only catch the short hop, but also to make the quick tag. Good play by Quinones. You catch that short hop, you have a tendency to come up with the glove. You have to keep it soft, and then to get it back down in a hurry. It's really what he did, and really a fine play by Quinones.
So 2 out and nobody on as McReynolds fouls it off, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Broken his bat as he loops one to right field. O'Neill in to make the play, and the inning is over as Jacoby faces the minimum 3 here in the 8th. We go to the 9th. New York with a 3-run lead after this for Michelob Drive.
sometimes the roads are long. So it's good to know you've got some friends along the way. Pull into any Exxon retailer, and you'll find gasolines unsurpassed at cleaning your engine, and service unsurpassed at keeping you going. And that'll never change, because quality products and services are why people have been coming into Exxon, and why they keep coming back.
Thanks.
In the last 3 model years, over 400,000 GM owners made the move to Mercury. Now, during the Lincoln Mercury move-out, it's your turn. Get 2.9 APR financing or $750 cash back on Mercury Sable. Or get $750 cash back on Mercury Cougar LS. For great rates, rebates, and savings, come in today. Don't miss the big move-out at your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
Come on and party with British rocker Howard Jones and give me a break's Jonathan Silverman on the next Arsenio Hall show.
Monday at 11:30 on Channel 9.
Take a look at the Nissan National League scoreboard. San Diego over Pittsburgh in the 9th inning, 5-3. 2-1 Atlanta over Philadelphia in the 7th. 2-0 St. Louis over the Giants in the 6th. 6-1 Chicago final there. 3-0 Montreal over Houston, and that game in the 5th inning. In the American League, 10-5 Boston over the New York Yankees in the 8th. 2-0 Toronto over Detroit in the 9th. 1-1 in the 5th. Baltimore at Milwaukee. 1-1 Chicago at Kansas City. All the other games on the West Coast later. Minnesota at California, Cleveland, Seattle, and Texas at Oakland.
And right here, the Mets lead 6-3 as we go to the 9th. And Lenny Harris pops the first pitch from Rick Aguilera into foul territory. Kevin Elster calls off Howard Johnson. And there's 1 out in the 9th inning.
Steve, this is the last time that we will see Pete Rose this year. The Mets not playing the Reds anymore. We can't help but think of the situation and have empathy for Pete's situation. We certainly hope the allegations aren't true, despite mounting evidence against Pete. Whatever evidence that is, we don't know.
Bo Diaz hitting for the first time. Hits one in the air down the left field line, and Kevin McReynolds in fair territory puts it away for the 2nd out.
But I can't help but think of the fight and draw a correlation of the fight yesterday and Pete Rose's predicament. Baseball has always had the resiliency to police itself. On the field confrontations, off the field confrontations. And yesterday, I think it's analogous to show how baseball and the players police themselves with the umpire's help yesterday, and how everybody hoping that baseball will continue to police itself and not have to go into a thing that's drawn out over a lot of years in the courts. Am I saying that I guess Bart Giamatti should be the ultimate judge? Well, the commissioner always has since 1920, and I guess that's what I'm saying.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly, Jimmy. Cal Daniels is the pinch hitter with 2 out and nobody on in the 9th. And he takes a strike. I think that it's very apparent that baseball, even if Pete Rose is found and adjudged to be guilty, baseball will survive. I'm not too sure about Pete, because baseball is Pete's life. And I think that if the allegations are true, Pete Rose personally may be harmed far more than the game of baseball ever will be.
And whether you're a baseball fan or a human being, you can't help but, as I said, have empathy for that man who has done so much for the game. And we just hope that everything turns out well.
And that more importantly, the truth is known and justice is done. Daniels skies one to left, and this should be the ball game as Kevin McReynolds puts it away, and the Mets, with a big 7th inning, defeat the Cincinnati Reds and win the series with a 6-3 final here today, the last meeting of the year between New York and Cincinnati. Rick Aguilera picks up the win in relief. His record is 4-3, and Norm Charlton, who faced just 1 batter. Greg Jeffries, who eventually scored the tie-breaking run as the loser. It's Charlton's first loss of the year. He is now 3-1. Tim and I'll be back with a final word for you from Shea on a beautiful, magnificent afternoon after this for Nissan.
To Nissan, a truck race is nothing more than a learning experience. It's just another day spent working out the bugs in a new suspension, tweaking an engine to get more horsepower, or figuring out which chassis design can withstand the most stress. We've won a couple of hundred races, including the championship at the last Baja 1000. But the fact is, as long as we learn something, we don't really care if we win. Yeah, right.
Now make it to Atlantic City the easy way. Amtrak.
All aboard! Oh yeah, oh yeah!
5 trains every day. For reservations, call your travel agent or call Amtrak at 1-800-USA-RAIL.
Exotic alloys, complex designs. Today's automobile engines are minor miracles of efficiency and power, but at a price. They generate more of the damaging filth called sludge. Today, what's required is a motor oil scientifically formulated to virtually eliminate sludge. There is one, Haviland Superior Grade.
Good afternoon, I'm Reg Wells, and coming up tonight at 10, a Queens teenager is recovering from a horrifying accident. He was impaled through the jaw on a spiked fence. More trouble and arrests at Tompkins Square Park as a protest continues over the homeless. And President Bush begins an important visit to Poland. Plus, Carl will have the latest from Shea, and Lisa will have all the weather tonight at 10. Join us.
Steve Zabriskie and Tim McCarver back with you at Shea Stadium, where the Mets win at 6-3 in an unusual ball game that perhaps, in some ways, lived up to its previous billing, I guess, because there was a lot of anticipation about this game due to what happened here yesterday with the fights and 4 players being ejected. And as usual, and I think we talked about it earlier, Timmy, nothing really significant happened on the field. You really didn't expect anything to happen except the game to be played.
Well, the only thing that significantly happened on the field was some poor play, some poor infield defense in particular, but it was a game that was highlighted by very poor infield play, erratic outfield play with some brilliant defensive plays, not only in the infield, but the Darryl Strawberry catch in particular.
And Darryl, for that reason, is our Budweiser player of the game. Darryl going high over the fence to rob Jeff Reed of a home run. And when you consider the situation at the time, the Reds had a runner on base. It would have been a 2-run home run. And then what happened was that Strawberry's throw in after the catch got Lenny Harris off third base. Harris had tagged up at second, went to third, rounded third inexplicably, Timmy. I don't know why in the world he rounded third, especially when Dave Bristol was hollering and gesturing. And Johnson walked over and tagged him out. In addition to Strawberry being our Budweiser, the player of the game, a close second, in only his second game ever, Robin Williams, for his play on this foul ball into the booth.
And by the way, in this world of stats, the Mets are now 1-0 when Robin Williams and Billy Crystal show up at a game.
I mean, that right there is enough to give him the Budweiser player of the game, right? Of course. Instrumental in the victory as always. No, it was great to have both Robin Williams and Billy Crystal in the booth with us. We'll be back. More from Shea, where the Mets win at 6-3. After this, from Bud Light.
Nature's light. Bathing fields of grain. Enriching full, fresh hops. Giving life to sparkling streams, nourishing all the natural things that go into making Bud Light. The light beer that's beechwood aged for a clean, fresh taste that makes Bud Light the one light that outshines them all.
It takes years of experience and knowledge. And hours of hard work. It's called teamwork. At Manufacturers Hanover, teamwork means performance. To solve intricate financial challenges, you have to be able to pull together.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match.
9 out of 10 people turn to the matchmaker, the New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. Because with more ads and more choices, the more they look, the more they find. The genuine New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company.
Nothing's too good for my baby. Nothing. So my baby gets very special treatment.
There's a gasoline so special, it even exceeds BMW's detergency standard.
Fill it up. Ultra.
Sunoco Ultra 94. Clean power from the highest octane under the sun. Nothing else can match it.
Nothing.
Here are the final totals in the final meeting of the year between the Mets and the Reds. New York with 6 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors. The Reds with 3 runs on 7 hits, and they committed 2 errors. The winning pitcher, Rick Aguilera, pitches the final 3 innings in relief to pick up his 4th win of the year against 3 losses. And the loser, Norm Charlton, faced only 1 batter, and it's his first loss of the year. He is 3-1. And have a great all-star break, partner.
And you do the same, Steve, because as Clem McCarthy, the old racehorse announcer, used to say, at the break, New York Mets baseball has been brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Manufacturers Hanover, the financial source worldwide. By Nissan, building cars for people who want more than just a means of getting from here to there. Nissan, built for the human race. By Metropolitan Life and affiliated companies. Get Met, it pays. By your Lincoln Mercury dealers. By the New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. New Jersey Bell, a Bell Atlantic company. And by Meetup. All we make are great copiers. Our guest this afternoon will receive from Verdi Travel Wear a new modern tweed luggage set made of strong, extra durable fabric, ideal for long wear. Verdi Travel Wear, available at fine stores everywhere. Also, a Sharp remote control compact disc player with 8 times oversampling and 20-track programmability. The new point of view from Sharp Audio. Folks, be with us again on Friday when the Mets take on the Atlanta Braves at 7:30 p.m. from Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, right here on WWOR-TV. Now stay tuned for Kiner's Corner. Ralph's special guest, Davey Johnson. The executive producer of Mets Baseball 89 is Rick Miner, produced and directed by Jeff Mitchell. The associate producer, Steve Olbaum. The associate director, Vincent Sinopoli. The announcers on the preceding telecast were approved and contracted for by Sterling Doubleday Enterprises. And this has been a presentation of WWOR-TV Sports. Enjoy the All-Star Game. See you Friday, everybody.
When my friends have questions about appliances, they often come to me, because I work at Loco. Take air conditioners. An old one uses more energy, which adds a lot to your electric bills. You could reduce your cooling costs by more than 20% if you replace an old air conditioner with a high-efficiency model. And if you're buying an air conditioner this summer, ask about Loco cash rebates. We give them to customers who buy energy-saving models. For more ways to reduce electric use and hold down your electric bills, give us a call.
The subject is chicken, because I can't stand you eating so much as a leg anyplace else but Roy's. That's why I made July Chicken Month. You get 2 pieces of hot, delicious chicken, medium fries, a medium drink, and a biscuit I made myself, thank you, for just $2.99. Now, if that's not the best deal in town, you're in the wrong zip code, honey. So come to Roy's. I want to see your face in my place. Thank you.
The $2.99 chicken combo at Roy's.
Buying 35mm film can be confusing.
It's not confusing, is that?
Look at our simple chart.
Chart?
There's 100. Use it here, but not here. There's 400. Use it here or there, not here and there. There's 1,000. Don't use it here or here. Just there. See?
I see.
Introducing 35mm Polaroid One Film. With One Film, you can get beautiful pictures here, there, or just about anywhere. New 35mm One Film. For beautiful pictures, the choice is easy.
The most critically acclaimed movie of the year is Mississippi Burning. Best American film of 1988. Roger Ebert, Siskel and Ebert. Nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Actor. Gene Hackman, Willem Dafoe, Mississippi Burning, rated R, coming July 27th on video cassette. Also from Orion Home Video, Steve Martin and Michael Caine are Dirty, Rotten Scoundrels.
Thank you.
Rated PG, now on video cassette.
This weekend, Emma Samms, Bobby Brown, Robert Downey Jr., and Louis Anderson on the Arsenio Hall Show Weekend Jam.
Tonight at 11 on Channel 9.
Kleiner's Corner is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood, aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Mitsubishi Motors, who invite you to come see the full line of cars and trucks. Mitsubishi, suddenly the obvious choice. And by NatWest Banks, raising the standards of banking.
Welcome to Kleiner's Corner. Well, the odds say that if you're in first place on July 4th, you'll end up winning the division title. And, of course, the Mets were not in first place on July 4th. They were trailing the Montreal Expos. We're going to be back to talk with Davey Johnson about the second half of the season, and that'll be right after this message from Budweiser.
Coming through for you. Beechwood Age, for the taste so crisp, so clean, so refreshing. It's the king of beers.
In Germany's justly celebrated automotive industry, it is a particular accomplishment for a car to win an automotive award. It is doubly an accomplishment if it's not a German car. This year, Germany's highly prestigious Golden Steering Wheel Award was given to the highly affordable Mitsubishi Mirage. The Germans would have preferred that it be one of their own, but in the end, everybody loves a winner.
Well, welcome to Kleiner's Corner. We have as our special guest Davey Johnson. The first half of the season is beyond us, behind us, or whatever you want to say. And, Davey, the second half coming up, you're not in first place, and you've got a lot of decisions to make. One, you'll have Keith Hernandez and also Gary Carter coming off the disabled list. It looks like Dwight Gooden will not be ready for a little bit longer than they figured in the first place. So a lot of mental work for you to come up for the second half.
Well, you know, you hate to think an injury sometimes is beneficial, but it's given an opportunity for some of the other guys to play. And certainly Magan has played well, and the catchers that played in his place have played exceptionally well. It's going to be great to get Keith back and Gary back, and whenever they're ready, they're going to get in the lineup.
So they'll be in there. That means that Magadan will have to go to another position because Keith Hernandez will be playing first base. And what do you think about where he'll play?
Well, you know, it's going to see how Keith comes back. You know, he's going to try to play a couple games in the minor league somewhere. I don't care where it is, to make sure his hamstring's going to be all right. Same with Gary. And, you know, I'll move Magadan over to third a little bit and see how that works out. You know, I love having good defense in there, but the way we're having trouble scoring runs, I'm going to put my best possible 9 out there offensively.
Well, one of the things that has been on the plus side of the Keith Hernandez and Gary Carter situation is that they have been able to work out. They've been able to hit, so it's not like a hand injury where you can't do a thing with the bat. They've been able to swing the bat.
Well, Keith's been running now about 30 minutes every day, and he's been taking ground balls, so I think he's in pretty good shape wind-wise. But, you know, it's different when you start a game and you got to start stretching at first base and crouching and that quick jump from first base, his quick jump, excuse me. But in Gary Carter's case, it's a lot different. You know, catching and blocking balls, I think could swell up on him. So I'm not so much concerned about them going down and getting their timing back.
because they're professional hitters. They've been around long enough, but they got to be getting in shape physically. Do you feel that the injuries have hurt your ball club that much in the first part of the season? Well, they always hurt because they're the kind of guys that really comfort everybody in the lineup. They're big play guys. Keith's always been able to get the big hits, so is Gary. So it's a kind of a transition to a younger guard, and it's not quite as comforting feeling out there when you have a younger guy out there that hasn't done it in the clutch a bunch of times. Well, the Mets certainly have hung tough in spite of the injuries that they have had in the first half. We'll be back to talk with Davey about what might happen in the second half of the season for the New York Mets. Davey, the manager of the New York Mets, and that'll be after this message from Nat West Banks.
So, we lost him. Another bank solved their trade finance problem in a week.
Well, we've been at it 6 months. What we need is new blood. Specialists with more imaginative views on the import-export market. Creative problem solvers. Where are today's creative problem solvers? Who was the other bank?
NatWest, raising the standards of banking.
Sunshine, fun time, friendlies in the summertime. Get a deal at Friendly's that is super fine. The super single Cooper Green. Get your pick of 23. Friendly's frisky, creamy ice cream. It's gonna be a friendly summer.
Get a free super single cone at Friendly's when you buy any sandwich with fries. Or when you buy any platter. A great deal for a short time.
It's gonna be a friendly summer.
The writers of Motor Trend magazine road-tested a lot of cars before the Mitsubishi Galant. They road-tested a lot of cars after it. But no other car was so well conceived, so well crafted, so thoroughly satisfying to drive. And that is why they marked the occasion in the most significant way they could. They named the Mitsubishi Galant Motor Trend Import Car of the Year.
Well, we got a chance to pre-tape Davey Johnson in regard to the New York Mets for the 1989 season. The first half of the season behind us, and of course we're looking forward to the second half. And Davey Johnson will have to look forward to being without the services of a person who might be the best pitcher in baseball, Dwight Gooden. Well, you know, I really didn't have to see a doctor to know something was wrong with Doc. He's never had an arm problem, and when he had that stiffness and warming up the other day, I knew he was going to have to miss at least one turn, maybe two turns. But hopefully with rest, he'll be strong in the second half, and we're going to sure miss him. He's a security blanket around here, but it's going to give an opportunity for us to find out about David West and also some of the younger pitchers like Tapani. Tapani or I'm as bad as you, Ralph. Tapani, I guess. Tapani, yeah. It's hard to figure out which way that's going to go. Well, he didn't look too bad in his first outing. He looks like he has a lot of tenacity on the mound. To me, he didn't appear to be overly powerful, but, of course, in that first time out in the major leagues, it's got to be a little bit tough. Well, I was worried about him because I didn't want to bring him in a situation where I had to pitch him 5 innings the first time out, and I'd warmed him up the day before. And that's also really a no-no for a young pitcher. They don't want, especially a starter not used to throwing 2 days in a row. But he showed a little above-average major league sinking fastball, above-average slider, and he also has got above-average major league changeup. So I think he's going to do fine up here. Well, they say, according to the people that have had him in the minor leagues, he has good bulldog tenacity on the mound. Yeah, one thing that might, you know, for a starter now going into the bullpen is his resiliency. I mean, I've tried to wean starters and, you know, not abuse him, use him like a starter out of the bullpen. In his case, I probably won't try to use him 2 days in a row ever for at least the first 6 weeks. Well, let's talk a little bit about your bullpen because Randy Myers has to be your closer, and in the latter part of the first half of the season, it looked like he might not be throwing quite as hard. You had to use him an awful lot. Of course, Rick Aguilera has come on to be your right-handed closer. Well, Ralph, you know, early in the season, we weren't scoring runs, and I'd use Randy in a role I didn't want to use him in. I'd use him to hold us close when the lineup showed a lot of left-handers coming up, bail us out of a jam, give us a chance to win the game, and he did that a couple times and really helped us win some ball games. I really don't like to use him that way. I'd rather keep him just for the closing role, 1 or 2 innings, and let us get out of there with a win and him a save. Unfortunately, I had to do something different. I hope we score enough runs the second half, I can just leave him in that save role. Well, you're going to be able to use Darryl Strawberry, at least it appears that way, because he did miss a lot of action in the first half of the season. Also was not hitting up to his career capacity. So that should be something to look forward to.
Well, I think all things considered, with losing some impact players that have been out there and everybody's comfortable with them in the lineup, to a younger catcher, younger first baseman, really we're very fortunate to be where we're at. I think we're 2 games out. We've missed Darryl. We're going to miss Doc for a while. I think we're going to see a very exciting second half, and there's 4 clubs that they're bunched close together, so it's going to be an exciting summer.
Tell us a little bit about Howard Johnson, about his start this year and a fabulous June.
Well, I think the first half really is a Howard Johnson highlight film. He has just been remarkable. He's, done a good job at shortstop. He's hitting any place in the order I put him in. I think the thing is that he's really become a smart hitter, and seeing Howard Johnson the last couple of years, I would never have thought that he would start looking for pitches and situations, and he's become one of my better breaking ball hitters on the ball club now, and if he continues to do that and when Darryl comes back, we should be an offensive force.
Certainly sounds like a little better second half than the first, but it has to be.
There's no doubt about it. But we have more of a veteran ball club. We've never really been in a tight pennant race to speak of. When we won, we've won big, so maybe this year we'll just win by a little margin.
Well, we're pulling for you, Davey, and thank you very much.
I enjoyed it, Ralph. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to get all the guys back and have a great second half.
Davey Johnson, and we'll be back with the Mitsubishi scoreboard right after this message from Mitsubishi.
In Germany's Just Lake,